Everyone, welcome to Bardic Inspiration. We are so excited to have you here. This is Dungeons & Dragons in Shakespearean Style. My name is Adam Himbry, and I will be your Dungeon Master this evening. Bardic Inspiration is brought to you by Soothplayers, a Melbourne-based theater company that usually produces full-length improvised comedy shows, including Completely Improvised Shakespeare, Completely Improvised Potter, and recently Improvised Jane Austen. But last year, the plague struck, and the theater shut, and we turned to Dungeons & Dragons for a chance to keep improvising together, but mostly also just to see our friends. When I invited our actors to have a play with this game, I expected maybe 5 or 6 of them to be into it and probably 3 or 4 of them to stick around for the long haul. It's been 1 year, and 14 of us are still playing this game together in 2 campaigns. And that's not including some of the other great humans we've had join us as guests and fellow players along the way. To you, our lovely audience who are watching either live or via the recording, thank you so much for being here. In case you're concerned, you do not need to know much of anything about D&D, nor do you need to be a Shakespeare expert to have fun with us. D&D has so many rules and features that none of us can claim to know all of them. Just know this. Sometimes I will describe a situation, our players will make choices, and they may need to roll the dice to see how those choices go. And if you have seen our improvised shows before, you probably already know this, but we also don't handle Shakespeare like some kind of sacred text. For us, Bardic Inspiration is a call to be committed and dramatic, but also to be spontaneous and silly, maybe mostly silly. And most of all, we are here to charm and delight our fellow players and to make the most fun and satisfying story that we can together. And usually we only have an hour on stage together to make stories. With D&D, we get to extend that venture to absurdly epic proportions. To that end, these players, including tonight, will have had 40 sessions together to play with these characters. That's 120 hours to explore the characters and get them into heaps of trouble, which in true Shakespearean fashion, I can promise you they have. And likewise, in true Shakespearean fashion, you are getting dropped into the middle of a story that is already in progress. So I would like to now just really quickly introduce you to the world and to part of that story. Aorn is a homebrew fantasy world which is filled with huge kingdoms and fathomless oceans and a thin veil protecting it from untold mysteries, strangers, gods, and monsters beyond. I'm going to change the view so that you can see a map of that world. There we are. There are plenty of dangers in the devils that people do know here on this world, though. These include things like corrupt nobility, organized crime, and ambitious mages who are constantly jockeying for influence and power in a nation called Eston, which is where we lay our scene. For those of you who joined us last week to meet the Magical Cane Band, welcome back. If you're here for the first time, I'd like to introduce you to the Headless Marys and their story. The year is 1600 of the Common Era, and the Headless Marys, who you see here right now, have had a very intense 2 months, to say the least. Their story began on Eridoc Island in Lake Lewen, which I would like to show you now. Lake Lewen is a massive lake spanning hundreds of miles. Thank you for that, John. The Headless Marys began their journey on Eridoc Island, which is home to the mysterious Forest of Argen, a wood with a fabled connection to the Feywild, a fairy land that is as filled with enchanting delights as it is with vivid dangers. On a journey to investigate mysterious disappearances in that forest, the Headless Marys found themselves at the center of a dire conflict. On one side of this great clash was the spring court of the fairy world, ruled by Fey King Oberon. Together with the guardians of the forest, they beseeched our party to protect the forest's heart at all costs. On the other side of this mysterious war was another alliance of characters, a necromancer and a mysterious enchantress named Mary, whose fate you can probably guess by now. These joined forces with an ambitious lord of Pequotch Keep, and they strove to sever the forest connection to the Fey world. The Lord of Peakwatch, while this was happening, also worked with a secret criminal order called the Four Winds to rapidly expand his resources and power across Lake Lewen. Now, the Headless Marys prevailed in their mission to save the heart of the forest when they slew both Mary and then a mysterious vampire named Amaleth, who himself had escaped from the Feywild as a changeling boy much beloved by King Oberon. And although the Fey King was devastated to learn of Amaleth's betrayal and also of his death, he rewarded the party with a great boon, a ship that now bears their namesake, the Headless Mary. And that ship is where we find them tonight. Now, the nation of Eston is split from Lake Lewen to the sea by the mighty Lewen River. It's a thriving trade route and the fastest path seaward from the capital city of Orst, which you can see on the map there. But many, many miles from the nearest city, that river passes through a very marshy stretch of countryside, where the night air is thick with the song of frogs and cicadas and the hum of mosquitoes. It is there that the Headless Mary knifes through still, dark river water. And the Headless Mary is no ordinary vessel. It has the appearance of a fine keelboat, but closer inspection will reveal magical lamps where lanterns ought to be, eliciting a low amber light. The grains of the fine dark wood of its hull and deck are strange, taking lurid shapes and patterns that you would swear have changed since last you looked. And the ship's figurehead is a vivid sculpture of a donkey in mid-bray, with eyes bulging and tongue lolling to one side. And as it is no ordinary ship, so its crew are no ordinary creatures, and I would like to introduce each of them to you now. So, as we, in our imaginary camera, sort of pan over the Headless Mary moving through the night, a number of the party is on deck, having just had a very hectic issue with a fallen log in the river. Why don't we go then in order on my screen, and now yours if you're watching. On the deck, we'll first have a look at Avery. Elizabeth, if you wouldn't mind telling us what we see when we see Avery.
Well, Avery is a high elf rogue assassin, and she is in her mid-20s. She is dressed kind of like all in like a black cloak that kind of wraps around her shoulders. She has gloves on. She has like a bunch of daggers and stuff like hidden inside her cloak. That's what you'd see.
Great. Thanks, Elizabeth. Moving on over, we've got Barwin, either near the helm or sleeping at this point. I'm trying to remember where we left off. But tell our viewers what they see when they look at Barwin, Brenna.
When she's manning the helm, which she might be, I also can't remember. She is just over 4 feet tall, a hill dwarf cleric. She has long hair, which is braided, but often and still has sticks and twigs in it, even though they haven't touched land for days. And she has a little, attached to her breastplate, she has a little medallion there, and on her back is a warhammer.
Thank you, Brenna. Moving on down the line, we've got Buckle, one of our resident fighters. Pedro, introduce us to Buckle, please.
Buckle is one of the fighters in the party. He is a human, which naturally means he is a bit of a stick in the mud who dislikes magic. And he used to have a full suit of armor. Most of it's in pieces now. He's ripped things out and scratched things out. Based on his growing spite towards his old bosses. So yeah, bits and pieces of a suit of armor and a shield and a rapier. That's all he needs.
Thank you, Pedro. That's Buckle. Moving undoubtedly up to the crow's nest, I think, if I'm correct. We've got Caliban. Ryan, let us know a little bit about Caliban.
Sure. So Caliban is a Kenku rogue, an arcane trickster. Kenkus are like crow people, if you're not aware, and one of their kind of racial traits is that they don't have the capacity to speak their own language or words. So they're expert mimics. Caliban has on his knee at the moment a little sprite called Peas Blossom, who does most of his talking for him, which we may call a handy little hack, if we must. And he also wears a plague mask fitted with night vision goggles, which looks like that. Caliban.
Oh my god, I forgot you could do that.
I'm very magical. Yeah.
Disguise self in virtual edition.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for that, Ryan. Next up, we've got John Mark, who is going to introduce us to Podrick. Take it away.
Oh,
John, your audio seems to have cut out. Maybe you switch your source or something like that. No, it's gone. Alas. Yeah. Okay.
Mine went to us.
Yeah.
Very tall.
Yeah, Podrick's quite tall. He's got a lot of fur.
Luscious hair.
Yeah.
Big
smile
Hey.
always.
great.
Oh, it's staff.
He's got a staff.
Fine, got it.
It's always got lemon myrtle
Lemon
specifically
myrtle.
on the end.
Oh,
Look, this is
Yeah.
a fun
Like
trick, but it's going to make the
weird.
campaign long.
Oh, he
Nice
the
doggy
druid
paddle.
can turn into.
he gets seasick.
He's talking about his blink dog.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
pining for Terrence, the blink dog he met once in the woods. He believes we'll find him again. Maybe try flicking your audio source off and on again. John Mark will hopefully figure that out. No, I'm still not getting any volume from you. Sad day. We'll hopefully come back to learn more about our resident Fearbold druid. Getting closer is not helping you. It's just a
You're
very
muted. You're
close-up
muted.
view of your mouth.
Can we just
Very
can't help
clean.
I can't help but feel like this is just how Podrick would try to solve this issue. Never mind, John.
honestly?
Moving on from our tall but still short for a Fearbolg Podrick, with his bluish green fur and newly adorned with strange shades of purple and scarlet and gold as of last session. We'll talk more about that in a second. Let's move on to Ravelor, our resident bard. Melissa, Mel, would you like to introduce him for us?
Yes. Ravelor is like Legolas if he were a bisexual narcissist with a donkey's tail. So that's, what more do I need to say? That's Ravelor.
That's true. That's
He's often off flirting with Yori. They've got a real will they, won't they type thing going on. Yori's not here, so I'll just speak for Yori. They will, is the short answer. Also, Ravelor has a beautiful little tressum named Dulcie, which is short for Dulcinea. And Dulcie, the rule is I can only play Dulcie when Dulcie's actor is around, and Dulcie's based off my real cat, Fiji, and Fiji just ran away, so she's not here right now.
All right, Dulcie's off hunting then. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
For those tuning in, a tressum is a cat with wings. Dulcie is a sort of a black cat with sort of dark black wings, winging around through the night. They're pretty incredible.
Ooh, very, very softly.
Are we getting some Podrick audio now? A little bit.
Barely.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great.
I can hear them shouting. It's coming.
Don't just talk like this!
This will go gangbusters, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Now, in spite of Mel's insistence, I will speak for Yori this round. Unfortunately, Louise, our player who normally plays our halfling fighter Yori, is ill this evening and could not be with us. She sends her regards. She plays a character named Yori, who is a halfling fighter. She is between 3 and 4 feet tall, wearing armor and wielding a very vicious-looking battle axe, generally. She also has a very bright cherubic face and curly blonde hair, and is quick to anger and sort of in the process of coming to terms with a bit of magic of her own. We actually left off with a bit of drama on that front. So this seems like a good a time as any to quickly recap the most recent venture of the Headless Marys 2 weeks ago.
Oh, you're back?
Yes!
Yay.
Am
Podrick is
I
back.
working now? Can you hear me now?
Yay.
Well, I can't hear
Okay.
anyone. No, it's
John
not.
Mark,
Hold
would
on,
you
Mike.
like to
Let's
give
play.
us a little bit
Let's
more
play.
actually about Podrick other than our charades? Did you?
I thought that was perfect. I thought that was perfect. Yeah, you know, tall but not too tall, short but not too short, charming but not too charming. You had it. You locked it down. It's fine. They get it. I've already got people messaging. It's great.
So Podrick, our Fearbolg druid, gentles all. I hinted that there was a bit of drama at the end of our last session. I should mention, for those of you who are D&D aficionados, the Headless Marys are level 7 adventurers as of just recently, which means that they have just recently come into some new abilities, new skills, new spells. And since their adventures in the Forest of Argen, they have found themselves on a new quest, which has taken them this far down the Lewen River. They are currently racing against time and trying to outrun pursuing assassins. While they were in the capital city of Orst some time ago, they thought that they were disrupting a black market trade of dragon parts for a wizard named Nicholas Bacon. To their surprise, they actually found a live young golden dragonling named Alda. And they also found her longtime protector and friend, Avery, who you see with us now. Their mission, currently, is to return Alda to her home near the sea, where there is a mysterious figure named Vela awaiting them. In hot pursuit, however, in a ship called the Spaniel, which is crewed by assassins from the Four Winds. The party has escaped them multiple times during this chase, but the Spaniel is speeding ever after them, emitting a strange plume of dark smoke in its wake. On board the Headless Mary, our party have had their own recent challenges to address lately. They have many questions to address. Can they trust this wizard, Nicholas Bacon, who continues to seek details of their sudden disappearance and to offer his help? Can Avery, who is trying to protect Alda the dragon at all costs, really afford to trust this strange group of people? And can Podrick and Yori come to terms with the strange Feywild magic that seems to have recently deeply affected both of them? These questions and more are sure to haunt our fine flotation on tonight's episode of Bardic Inspiration. Let's get to it. Thank you, Podrick. We find you all having just engaged a Headless Mary, your ship's chaos magic, as you pulled forth the wheel, spun it widdershins 3 times, and called forth on the random table of magical effects it can produce. When you did so, you allowed the ship to be under the effects of the blink spell whenever it is under attack. And what that means is that whoever is driving the ship can temporarily roll the dice to see if the ship can disappear and then teleport up to 10 feet away at the end of each round of initiative. You needed to do so when your ship got stuck during the night as you were driving it forward. And after engaging, for the first time as a group, you and the ship leapt out of the material plane into the ethereal plane. And you saw some strange things while you were there, including odd little fish-like creatures moving around, and also some other creatures watching you from the banks. Specters, ghostly, watching your progress through the river. However, once all of that was finished, you did manage to get the ship unensnared from what was holding it, and you are now finding yourself floating again on the river. And we just left off with Yori slamming the door in Buckle's face. It seems that Buckle was a little bit loose-lipped for Yori's tastes last session in spilling the beans about what happened when the two of them were separated from the party some time ago. when they met a witch in the woods named Old Nan, and that in the vicinity of that time, or shortly thereafter, Yori discovered that she had some magical capabilities. Yori is incredibly embarrassed about this and angry at Buckle for having revealed this to the rest of the crew. Meanwhile, Podrick himself has just realized that some strange power has touched him, and he realized that he, almost as though not through his own understanding, was Fey-touched. His fur around his eyes now has strange new markings, and the consequences of this are as yet relatively unknown. So, the door and the sound of Yori screaming in Buckle's face, echoing through the night, is where we open with all of you now. So, Headless Marys, what's happening for you?
Buckle comes back above decks, just his head kind of held a bit low, and he sees the rest of the group and he's like, mayhaps we can forget what I did just say to thee. Perhaps I was too hasty, and we can put the whole thing behind us and forget it ever happened. Ha 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 ha.
Forget what? That Yori magically made her shield appear? Was it her axe? I saw it not.
It was her axe.
Aye. Perhaps 'twas a trick of the light. Perhaps some kind of after effect from being in the ethereal plane.
I perchance it be for I also have effects. But I have no answers.
Aye.
Podrick, if thou didst want a new hairstyle, and thou didst desire that we all take note of it, thou couldst just say so. Thou needst not make up some story about being Fey-touched.
Revelor, if I wanted a new hairstyle, I would have asked thee, for I have envied yours since we did met. But I did not ask for your hairstyle. I did not ask for Yori's. I did not ask for Barwin's. I did not ask for the one that is on my face.
Aye, indeed, thou didst just happen to have purple streaks in thine hair when purple streaks are the trendiest of hairstyles in these hair parts.
And you know of I'm not the trendiest. I still, my pants do not meet my knees. My collar forever, one side stays down. But I'm not the trendiest. I wish not to be. I'm charmingly awkward.
Well, perhaps 'tis you who is jealous and not Podrick.
What? Thou thinkst I, Ravelor the Long, Ravelor of Two Tails, am jealous of some purple-streaked hair?
Yes, indeed.
Yes. Mhm.
Let the record show that I was Fey-touched before it was cool.
Indeed, Caliban was Fey-touched the first. Next, we shall see Podrick getting rid of his lips.
That's just my beak. I did not choose to be lipless. I was born that way.
Aye, but trendy it is indeed nonetheless.
I do not want to lose my lips, for they are luscious.
Fret not, Podrick. I'm sure it will not happen. For Caliban, no other part of you was changed apart from, well, your feathers. Am I right?
I?
So then, surely, Podrick, thou art as changed as thou ever will be. Perhaps you have some other powers that we know not of yet, but I'm sure thine lips are safe.
But my lips also have the taste of Neenish tarts upon them.
Well, now thou art just bragging.
Nay, this be not a brag, this be a caution. I don't know what this taste is. I do not like it, for the last time I did taste this, Mary lost her head. That's what happened. Oh, this hurts my head.
As it did
Is
Mary
it
hers.
bedtime? Is it not bedtime? For I am weary of this day.
we should continue on. The log business has been resolved, and we shall continue on and let the gentle sea breeze wash any unruly thoughts or
We're on a
memories
river.
from our minds. Aye.
One day
River
the lot of
breeze.
you will be on an ocean, and you'll be able to say ocean and sea so many times.
And we won't do it.
Yeah.
We've been on a lake for a year, and now a river. One day.
Is
going to sleep.
nobody worried about those creatures we saw in the ethereal plane?
Aye. They were of a bizarre sort.
Do they not pose a risk to us?
If they strike first, I will worry about them. But they seemed peaceful. Perhaps it was us who intruded upon their home.
Or perhaps they have struck and the purple be their ammunition.
Oh.
Well, if that be the case,
We shall strike back.
I shall try them. For I would mind not a highlight or two.
Then fire, Revelor, fire!
Into an ethereal plane.
Well, surely we will have an opportunity soon, for we are doubtless to be under attack at a moment's notice.
Aye, and speaking of such, where has that wormling gone? For I did see her skulk about me in a manner that I like not.
Rav, you've got a 19 passive perception. And it might be the case that you were inspired to ask this question out loud because of what's transpiring, but maybe not. As you say that, there is a faintest of faint sounds of scrabbling on the wood deck. And if you look out of the corner of your eye, a little golden tail is just wisping out of sight, as apparently Alda has gone down the stairs from where she was clearly eavesdropping.
Rav sees it, but pretends not to.
Mhm.
And he loudly says, "Why, where the devil has that Alda gotten to? For surely I hath not seen her in nigh on a day."
There is a little wisp of smoke that comes out from under the stairs, which by now you'll have learned is something that happens whenever Alda feels emotion strongly, positively or negatively. She'll smoke a little bit. So take that as you will.
Well, knowing as I do that there is no funny business afoot, I shall to the crow's nest where I will be taking the first watch.
Thank you, everyone.
Caliban's already up there, yeah. You know.
Well, what's Caliban's plan? Do you plan to just reside up there, or are you sleeping there? What's your
I'm
deal?
going to sleep there. Yeah, I've been sleeping there the whole time.
It's a nest or a crow.
You've got a perfectly suitable bed chamber below. Just let that go.
Yeah,
That's
no.
fine.
He's gathered all the shiny things. He's gathered all the shiny things and all the twigs.
How are we supposed to do watch when Caliban's asleep up there?
No.
So
You
Rav
have to
climbs
find
up
another
and
place for watch.
crouches over
He's
the
already
sleeping
asleep.
Caliban.
Yeah, he's asleep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Just be
Rav, are you
quiet.
going to stay up there with a snoozing Caliban?
Indeed.
Okay. Well,
For
it's a
4
tight
hours.
fit. I imagine Caliban is like fetal position, curled up in the bottom there. You might be able to sort of sit yourself on the edge of the bucket and have your feet hitting the ground without stepping on poor Caliban.
I think
okay.
maybe I sit on him like he's a little egg.
I can't speak for Caliban, but I feel he would have feelings about that.
Positive ones that remind him of childhood? No, that's a no.
Perhaps, Revelor, you should feed Caliban. Remind him of childhood.
All right,
So-
I'm going to my bed chamber then.
Caliban, Caliban.
Feel bullied about it though. No.
As he crawls down, Rav calls to him, I shall see thee for breakfast.
Was that a flesh and blood finger or a mage hand finger?
Well, my mage hand's invisible, so
Yeah, that's true. That's
It
why
was,
it was
it was peas blossoms. It was peas blossoms.
So as Caliban descends, can I presume the rest of you, bar Barwin, are going to bed?
Buckle's gonna stay on deck.
Okay,
Because there's an angry Yori in his bed.
just for reasons. All right. So I'm assuming Rav's up top, Barwin is steering, Yori's below decks, Buckle's up on deck. Everyone else going to bed?
Mm-hmm.
All right. In that case, I need Rav to make a perception check for the first watch.
And who do I wake for second watch?
It's up to you.
I'll do second
Yeah.
watch.
Okay, I'll go
Since,
get
since
Avery.
both Rav and Avery only need 4 hours for their long rest, that checks out. So yeah, if you want to roll your
Perception check?
Mhm.
Let's do it. First roll of the stream.
Yes. Ooh, and there it goes.
Hey.
Pretty good with Rav's modifier. That's a dirty 20.
Oh.
Okay.
The only way I
This
like it.
is a good time to shout out our friend Matt Day, who designed this browser platform called Rollcast, which gives us the ability to virtually roll the dice in front of each other and also port it in to the stream like this. Shout out to Matt, you're a wizard. So with a 20 during your watch, it is relatively quiet beyond the constant background noise, which this kind of marshy, swampy area of the Riverlands is constantly putting forward. So there's loud sort of creaking of frogs
Like
and a
ocean
chorus.
noises.
Sorry?
Like ocean noises. Like
It's just
See?
not at all resemblant to ocean or sea or the mighty deeps. Nope. Big swamp vibes. So it is a near constant hum and squeak of those creatures. You do, however, a few hours into your watch, see some faint lights off to the right side of your ship in the sort of swamplands. It's a flicker as though a distant bonfire. And it's up ahead, far on the right at first, and then you're kind of slowly drifting equal to it. And it's far enough into the marshy woodlands that it's difficult to make out any kind of real details, including the train going by just then. You can, as you draw closer, hear very faint sounds, almost like singing, a sustained low note that occasionally changes pitch. Buckle, how long do you stay on deck doing what you're doing?
I'm still there.
A few hours
I'll say yeah. Is Avery's not up yet? I'll say I'll go to sleep around the time Avery wakes up.
Okay. Buckle, I would say, given your passive perception, you are not clocking on to this as Rav is.
He's too busy brooding into the twilight.
Yeah. What's on Buckle's mind right now? Let's see.
Oh,
what's he reading?
Yeah, he's just a bit embarrassed and feels a lot of guilt and shame at hurting his best friend.
Yeah. Rav, as this is happening and you hear this sort of chanting and singing sound, there is a brighter flash of light in the distance, in addition to the light of the flickering bonfire. And this light is steadier rather than flickering. It burns brightly in a kind of yellow-green before it fades back to the light of the bonfire. As you move forward to the point where you're almost level with this humming and the light. Buckle. You're going to have a sudden flash of pain. As unheard by you and unseen by Rab, several figures have climbed their way up the side of your ship.
Damn it.
I should have been on the crow's nest.
You feel a sudden flash of needling pain in your back.
Can I call out to Ravelor?
In just a second. As this happens, I'm gonna roll some damage.
I'm gonna change
For the ship, not the buckle, though.
It is.
I mean, Buckle can take it.
It is a bummer of a time. Okay. I'm gonna make a group attack roll at advantage.
Oh. Group attack. So they're all just.
So this is like representing all of them. Okay, Buckle. You are going to experience several shooting stabs of pain in and around your armor as tiny pricks of like almost needle-like pain start to dig into your flesh in the weak points of your armor that you've recently changed. Okay, time to roll some more damage.
Oh,
Or roll some damage in the first place.
this is what happens when you betray friends, Buckle.
Yeah. This is karma. Oh.
Buckle, you are going to take a damage of a mix of types. So that is 21 total points of damage, some of which is piercing and some of which is necrotic. At this point, you are going to whirl around and see the source of this pain, as standing on the deck are 4 creatures, skeletal in nature, wearing rags of decrepit cloth and vestiges of old armor, holding
it's not the
scimitars.
ethereal people. Scimitars.
They appear to be walking skeletons, and they have scrambled over the sides of your ship, and the 4 of them that are facing you from a distance each have their hands extended, but where their free hand is extended, there are no finger bones left, as the finger bones have fired from their hands into you, and they are protruding from the various parts of your armor where they've hit. And then as they do so, they then pull their arms back, and the bones again rip themselves out of your flesh and return to their hands where they are waiting. And now they begin to approach you, which means it is time for y'all to roll for initiative.
Let's go!
Did Rab see any of this?
Rab by now would have taken in that this has happened. You'd have heard Buckle scream, absolutely, and then you'd be able to look down from the crow's nest and see this happening. So,
Can I yell to my friends?
yep, you can absolutely do that.
Okay.
No, there we go.
It is on.
Yep, it is on. For those of you watching, if you've never played D&D before, what's happening now is called an encounter. This is what happens whenever there is a fight. Just let me adjust my music here right quickly. This is what happens in D&D whenever there's a fight. Characters roll initiative to determine what order they go in the fight. Or if it's like a race or a skills challenge, anything like that. And that order of actions determines the outcome of things, who makes what choices win. Yes.
Question.
Mel.
As I recently learned, it's not just a D20. I'm supposed to, add my
You're
deck?
supposed to add your dex, and for you, Rav, because you have Jack of all trades, it's probably a little bit more than your dex. So look on your character sheet. It should say initiative on D&D Beyond in the kind of top center.
Next to the armor class.
Next to AC, yeah.
But my dex is plus... Oh, that's a saving throw. Never mind. Okay.
Yes, that's right. It's a little bit different. So then, I'm looking at our chat feature here in Rollcast. Thank you again. Who's rolling 2?
Oh, wait, that was an accident. Don't count them.
Take the 20.
No,
They both together are almost as good as Avery's.
Yeah. Well, not even.
Okay, Rav's got a 19.
Okay.
What happened to all the nat 20s we rolled in our last game?
Last session, y'all. 3 out of 4
Oh,
rolls
they
were nat
still
20s
I'm just
in a
happy
sec.
my nat 1 is out of the way.
Yeah.
That's how that works.
Well done. Okay, so Podrick, did you have a nat 1 on initiative?
Yeah, so I'm at
Which is 2 total, right? You're going to be at the bottom of the order?
Of course I am.
Okay. Now then, we've got, who else is next up? We've got Barwin at 6.
I love that you're building from the bottom.
Yeah, well, it's turning out to be easier for me on this list.
Which is
Thanks
scary.
again to Matt Day for having this feature where we can look in our chat and see all the rolls that have come up in order that they're rolled. Very cool. Okay, so then after that, moving on up the order, looks like Caliban at 13, then Buckle at 15. Does that sound right?
Boy.
And don't forget, Rav still gets to yell a warning cry.
Yep. Okay, I'll explain to you exactly the order of things now because of how things are. So Buckle was at 15. We've then got Avery at 23 and Rav at 24. Who am I
You
missing?
rolling for Yori?
Yori.
Yori
Wait,
is correct. I
sorry.
knew I was missing someone.
Sorry, I didn't have a 24. I had a 19. There was an
Oh,
accidental
you're
roll.
right. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I haven't put that in yet. Okay.
Do I get points for being honest?
Yep. Yep. I'll give you points.
Thanks, Patrick.
So it doesn't change your position in the order, thankfully. That little bit
Really?
of business. Yep. You're. Oh wait, sorry. Did you say it was 19?
Yeah.
Okay, then it does. The Avery is going to be first off the mark. However, let me double check on something. Buckle, what feats do you have? Do you have the alert feat? Am I misremembering that?
Feats. I do not have alert.
Okay, no, I wasn't sure. Does anyone here have the alert feat?
Yeah, I do.
I think
Avery does. I thought someone did.
maybe
Okay,
Yori.
that's yeah. I don't know if Yori does. I'll pull up Yori's character
She
sheet
can't be
anyway.
surprised.
That is right. I knew that someone else had alert.
Yeah.
Okay, what
I've
that means
tried.
is, so the way this works, if someone who is planning to attack you succeeds on their stealth check, which these people did, these creatures did, they can get off an attack, which is referred to as. So what happened here is you were all surprised. You did not know this was coming. Those of you who are up on deck, at least, don't have the alert feat, which keeps you from being surprised as long as you're conscious. Yori is unable to be surprised, nor is Avery. However, both of you are resting. This is going to affect Yori differently than Avery. Yori is actually sleeping. However, so I will treat her just like the rest of you. But I will say that Avery, because of the way that elves sort of rest, elves do stay mildly aware of their surroundings as they are meditating. So Avery, I will say you are top of the initiative order. You also are not surprised. The rest of you are surprised, and the surprise condition means you cannot move or take actions or reactions on your turn. Avery, however, is not surprised, which means Avery is going to get a full turn. So
Avery's
Avery-
like, ugh, typical.
yeah, you will be taken to consciousness by both Buckle and Rav shouting up above decks and hearing these sounds. You are below decks. Avery is also quite fast, so you have a choice as to how you want to use your movement, your action, your bonus action in response to all this.
Can I shout first?
I would say you're probably shouting as this is happening. That makes
Okay,
sense.
this is what Rav says.
You have words.
Oh, Buckle has been fingered.
I should have
I
known.
just say that the whole time.
I should have known. As soon as you said, I have something specific I need to say. Oh my God.
Avery comes up the stairs. She's like 90% sure Rav's joking, but there's like 10%. She's like, okay, this could be serious. So I'm gonna use my movement to come out of the room and come up the stairs, but kind of like peek around the corner
Yeah.
And then I want to use my sneak attack if I can on one
Okay,
of
give me
the-
just a second because I have not shared the map with you all yet. I'm about to do that now, so we can position you where you need to be, and then Avery, I'll let you tell me.
Alright.
Okay, is that visible to you all now?
Yeah.
Should be.
Yes.
But we're
Also
still
switch.
downstairs, right?
Yes. So I will now move you around a little bit so that we know what's up. So I'll just go ahead and hide those of you who are not currently about. Rav, you are in the crow's nest area, climbed up, so we'll say you're around there. Barwin is driving, actually, aren't you?
Yeah.
Got that fun little detail. And Buckle, bless you, we'll say you're up here, and we'll move our little beasties, which I hope are visible to you. Since Buckle was sort of brooding off in the distance, the creatures climbed up on either side here, some to his flank and some behind him and off to the other flank. And they have each just fired off these kind of shots. So then, Avery, you are here back near the back. I've moved you a little bit, so hopefully you can see yourself there next to Barwin.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what you see when you look out there, those four creatures. And I would say, actually, for the purposes of verisimilitude, after firing these sort of darts, they would have used movement to close in on Buckle. So these two definitely have done so. They are next to him. You said you were hoping to make an attack and use your sneak attack, which you will have advantage because your ally is flanking. So it is up to you. I would say to get up here, you've definitely used your entire regular movement just to get right there. You still have your action to fire if you like, and you have bonus action to use your cunning action if you wish to move a bit further or to disengage or hide. So up to you if you'd like to. Whom are you attacking?
I'm going to attack Blue, the one right next to Buckle.
Yep, you can do that. Make your attack roll with advantage. However you would like to do that.
Alrighty, cool. Okay, so I'm so sorry. If I'm using my longbow, it's a 1d8 plus 4.
That's for your damage if you hit. So if you take a look at next to it, it says plus something to hit.
Yeah, plus 7.
That's what you're going to add to your d20 roll.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so we'll take the highest one. That's a 19, which will definitely hit. 19 plus 7 is, in fact, high enough to hit, regardless. That's what it is. So you can roll your damage, which is that d8 plus, I think it was 4, you said, something like that, plus your sneak attack damage, however many d6s that is.
4.
It's 4 d6s?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Some rogues.
Oh.
Max damage on that one. Okay, so that's 20 total points of piercing damage to Blue. Pretty good lick. Okay, Buckle, from your vantage point, as you're now turning around and seeing these scimitar-wielding skeletons approaching you, one of the an arrow emerges out of nowhere and sort of clatters into the back of one of their heads. And it stumbles forward, and then as it looks back up at you, there is an arrow protruding forward through the eye socket, embedded in the skull of that skeleton, and it is not stopping. It is still looking at you with single-minded determination, beginning to raise its scimitar. That is Avery's action. Do you have any bonus action business you'd like to accomplish?
I might take steady aim for my next turn.
So you can do that next time if you like.
Yeah.
And steady aim requires you to stay in the same spot. So if you on your next turn, if you want to use that as your bonus action, you can do so. But if you're content to stay put, then that's it for your turn.
Yeah.
Okay, so that will take us next in the order Where did I put my initiative? Next up is Rav, followed by Yori, then Buckle. Rav, you are currently surprised, which although you were able to shout, that's sort of a free action. You don't really have time to cast spells or anything like that on this round of initiative. We'll go on when we get to the next top bit. You'll be able to. That is going to apply to pretty much everyone else, including Buckle, unfortunately, since you don't have the alert feat. Sorry.
Are we allowed to like say something instead of doing an action?
Yeah, you can say something if you like. Would Barwin like to say something?
Yeah. Just gonna call out. If someone can take the wheel from me, I will turn undead and hopefully use the god's good power to turn these skeletons back to dust.
Okay, Barwin shouts that out then, which is going to take us down. Actually, as that's happening, right around the same time Barwin is doing that, our skeleton buddies, our skeleton crew, is going to actually take their turn in the initiative order, and they are going to close in on Buckle. Or two of them are already closed in on Buckle. The other two are going to move here and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here. So I'm going to move because I've got some ghost units here.
Oh. Oh, we rolled. It's chaos magic.
Give it a moment, right? That's what I wanted to do. Sorry, I need to move some tokens around because they're in the way and I won't be able to move you. Just roll 20 things.
Can anyone else see the bird in the water?
Yeah, it does sort of look like that. Okay, so these two are both going to move so that they've got an angle, and they are going to fire the digits from one of their free hands at Barwin.
The digits. Come on, Adam, you have to say it.
I'm doing what I can here. I'm doing everything I can.
Well, I call it digiting anyway, so.
Oh God! There's the first one to hit. Probably a miss on old Barwin. Yeah. Because Barwin's got crazy AC.
She can duck behind a wheel.
Would it count as cover because she's behind the wheel?
I would say, given the circumstances and the angle of the shot, probably not, but it doesn't matter because they're misfiring anyway. And Barwin, as you are kind of there behind the wheel, the bones from these fingers fly off into the night and thud like daggers into the helm itself in front of you, and you're able to kind of lurch behind as they do. They are then going to... No, they're going to have to stay put. They've used their movement there. Okay. The other two who are next to Buckle, however, are going to swing on Buckle with advantage, which, to save time, I will just do right here. Buckle, what's your AC?
18.
18 is Buckle's armor class. That's a miss from the first one. And that is a hit from the second one. Okay. Now, Barwin, from your vantage point, as you're doing moving around, it might be hard for you to see, but your passive perception is pretty high. Since getting hit with these bones, Buckle is now... Sorry. Did you just say that a melee attack missed against me? The first one did, yes. You have a reaction.
Can I riposte that guy?
Yeah, you sure can.
I've never done this before. I'm going to spend my reaction... Yeah, just make a weapon attack against...
I'm terribly sorry.
Oh, no.
You actually cannot do this.
Oh, I'm still surprised.
Because you are surprised. So you do not have reactions on this turn of initiative.
Cool.
It's a really funny visual. Like they're all just there, like, "Ooh."
This is all just happening really fast. Like they've come over the side, fired at you, and then come at you again in that moment. and then they're closing on Barwin now. But needless to say, one of them missed, one of them does hit, and that you notice, Buckle, that since the sort of pain in your back from getting hit by those darts, you are now surrounded by this odd purplish black energy, very faintly glowing around you. You can see it on your fingers as you hold up your sword, attempting to parry away these blows. And when one of the scimitars misses, the other finds a purchase and digs into you. And there's something extra on it when it does. It doesn't feel like before when you've normally been hit. So you are going to take... I'm actually going to invite you to make a Constitution saving throw to determine if this happens. So that's
cool.
Connie.
All because he wanted to brood.
Oh.
Pretty good. Pretty good. That's a success.
Yay!
You are not going to be taking extra damage from this then.
Okay.
Yeah, buckle. Buckle in, partner.
That makes a big difference, actually. Okay, so then there is something weird about this. And as the scimitar rakes across a gap in your armor, you are going to take 7 points of slashing damage. And you manage to sort of grit your teeth and feel this strange feeling of first intense pain, but then it's actually sorrow. It's like you feel your mood beginning to change. Like not just the brooding mood that you already had, but something like grief, loss. But you kind of grit your teeth, and then your vision clears, and you can feel that it was something not your own. That it was something trying to invade your consciousness from the blade of this scimitar that's hit you. It's not you, and when you're sure of that, you're able to sort of dispel it and will it away from you. That is going to be those creatures' turns, however, which means we are now back to the top of the actual initiative order. Everyone now, including Avery, can take movement and actions and reactions. So you're back to normal. Okay, so Avery, you fired a shot. You're still posted up in that spot. What are you going to do?
I'm going to take another shot.
Cool. So are you going to bonus action steady aim, like you said from before?
You'd already have advantage, though.
Yeah, I don't think I need
It's
to,
up to
right?
you. Yeah, it depends on which target you want to shoot. If you want to shoot at blue again, you can do so.
Yeah, I think I'm going to try finish off blue.
Okay, you can do that. Make
do I
your
get-
attack roll with advantage.
Cool. Do I get sneak attack again or no?
You will. Anytime you have advantage on an attack, you're eligible for
great.
for a sneak attack.
Oh no.
Ooh, a bit rough. So then 7 plus your plus 7 is 14, and 14 is a hit.
Ooh.
Their armor's not great. I'm gonna say they are skeletons. It's tough lot. So roll your damage just like before. Okay, 25 points of piercing damage.
Wild.
Avery's bow's got a little something extra on it as well. And she lets fly with that arrow. 25 points. This skeleton, not looking great. The same skeleton in front of you, Buckle, that had an arrow protruding from one eye socket, gets another one, bam, right through the second eye. As it comes up, the back of its head is starting to like shatter. The plate between the two entrance holes is falling off, and the arrows are rattling around in both eye sockets as it's like looking at you through them.
Like a weather
mouth
vane.
wide open.
Yeah.
That is Avery's turn, unless you want to use your bonus action or movement.
Can Barwin not do anything while she's holding the wheel?
Barwin can make a choice on her turn what she wants to do. If she leaves the wheel, it's sort of the ship left to its own devices for how it's moving. But up to Barwin.
Where's
Barwin,
Barwin in the initiative order?
Pretty low.
Pretty low.
Second last, I think.
Should I use my movement to take the wheel?
It is up to you. You heard Barwin shout that out. So if you want to come to the wheel, you can. You want to use your movement to go, what is that, 10 feet? Not even
Okay,
5 feet,
alright.
maybe.
I'll
Yeah,
do
you can
that.
get right
I'll
up
take
there
the
and do
wheel.
that.
I'll take the wheel for this
Okay.
round, so Bawa can.
Yep, I'll say you can get right there, and you're not like on the level of using an action to steer, but you're like holding it in place
Yeah,
right there.
just
I'll say
holding,
that's fine. Okay, so that's done on Avery's turn. It is next Rav, then it'll be Yori, who is able to move now, then Buckle, then Caliban. So Rav, you're in the crow's nest. What are you doing?
Rav whispers to himself, "Nobody fingers my friends," and then he casts enlarge on Buckle.
Hey,
What?
this
I'm
hasn't
gonna make
happened
you
yet.
big, buddy.
This is exciting. Okay,
make
enlarge
you-
reduce. So make sure you spin that spell slot on your sheet. That is second level spell. Buckle.
Oh, sorry, I'm casting it third level.
Okay, what does that do?
I think.
Or is it a third level spell?
I think it's a third level. Oh, I have it.
Mistaken.
I have it second through fourth.
So if you upcast enlarge reduce, what does that mean? Does it say on the spell's wording anywhere that something happens if you cast it at third level?
Not that I can see.
So in that case, you can just cast it at second level and it'll do the same thing. You can always use higher level spell slots to cast lower level spells. It's just sometimes it adds damage or range or something
Cool.
like that to it. So
Cool.
yeah. So you can just keep it at second level so you don't burn a higher spell slot than you need.
Great.
To that end, though, Buckle, boing, is now Big Boy Buckle.
Yeah.
He is a size larger, so now no longer a medium creature, but a large creature. He is twice as big and weighs 4 times as much. And Buckle, all of your melee attacks do an extra D4 of their damage type.
Cool.
Hey.
Just emotionally speaking, Buckle is terrified right now.
Yeah. Rav, what does it look like when you cast enlarge reduce on Buckle? What's that like?
He like strums on his little lute and he goes, "You're gonna be a big boy."
Yep, you do. Okay, Rav, that is your action. You have movement and bonus action if you want.
Yeah, my bonus action, I'm gonna bardically inspire Buckle.
Okay, yeah, that can be part of that little pep talk if you want it to be.
I just feel like he needs it. He got a surprise finger blast, and he just needs everything he can get. He was brooding, then he was attacked by skeletons.
Now you have to understand how many times I wrote down this effect on my sheet and how many times I avoided using that phrase. You found it in about 8 seconds. Thank you for that. So Buckle, you're huge, and you also have a Bardic Inspiration dice to add to any D20 roll you make in the next minute or 10.
Okay. Is that what, D8 or D10?
I think it's a D8 is your inspiration dice, isn't it, Rev? It's either D6 or D8.
Oh, let me check. Is it under features? It was under X.
Yeah, it would be under features or bonus actions. You should be able to see.
Oh, found it. 1d8.
Yep.
Sweet.
So then, Buckle, if you need to make a saving throw, an attack, or an ability check, you can choose to add a D8 to it if you like.
Cool.
And you might succeed as a result.
Rav strums his little lute and he goes, "You can do it, boy."
Yep. That's the way.
Big boy.
Big boy.
Okay. In that case, it is now Yori's turn. Yori has sort of risen from her sleep, hearing all the commotion upstairs, including Buckle shouting. She is going to use all of her speed to run the length of the from her room up to get to the door, and it's going to take all of her 25 feet of movement because short legs. Give me a tick so I can find her token. She's going to emerge using the dash action so that she can get more movement to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25k. So Yori, using her movement and dash, can get there to be right next to the one in orange, the orange dot. And as she comes running, still like sort of holding, like putting her chain like shirt on. She puts a hand out by itself and is just staring daggers at this skeleton, and her battle axe just appears with magic in her hand. She is totally unselfconsciously just sprinting at this creature that is near Buckle, and like staring up at Buckle, who is huge now. Like, okay. That is Yori's movement, bonus action, and action. She is now adjacent to the orange one. That will take us to Buckle. It is your turn, then Caliban.
Yeah. Buckle's like, ah! Ah! And stabs, I'll say he'll stab the red one just directly down with his giant rapier.
You're towering over these creatures.
Yeah.
Okay. So make your attack roll.
Oh, okay. Oh, attack roll.
So it's a d20, yeah, plus your dex mod plus proficiency, whatever it is with your rapier.
Does that
Okay.
hit?
Yeah, that's it. That's definitely a hit. So you can roll your damage. So your normal rapier damage plus a d4 of extra piercing damage.
Okay, okay.
Okay, 12 points of piercing damage for the red. As you sort of thrust the rapier straight down in like the clavicle area next to its head, you feel your rapier go through that part and start rattling against the rib cage from above. And as you sort of turn and wrench the rapier back up, several of the ribs crack and fracture under the pressure and like fall to the ground. And it is still like slowly turning its head up to look up at you. And all of their eyes, you can see, like from the other one where the arrows were, there's a faint sort of purplish black glow coming from them and beginning to form around the hands holding their scimitars as well. Yeah, so that's your first attack. You've got a second attack.
I'm gonna do the same thing to the same red one again.
Okay, going for red again.
Oh,
less good. 12, unfortunately, is a miss.
Yeah.
Your second thrust downward, again, straight through that spot. But because they're skeletons, you go through the same sort of hole you made, and it touches none of this rest of the skeleton. Like it goes straight through, touching just air, and you pull back out. It doesn't seem to have done any damage. Do you have a bonus action or movement you'd like to use?
No. I'll just stay there.
Okay, then that's where we'll leave Big Buckle. Next up, it is Caliban, and then we'll get to the creatures, and then it will be Barwin, then Podrick. So, what's Caliban doing? You're down below at the moment.
Yeah, I'm gonna not stay there. I'm gonna try and run as fast as I can.
So, as with Avery, I'll say your full 30 feet will get you out of bed and to this sort of opening. But if you want to get further than that, you're going to have to use either a dash action or your bonus action.
No, that's cool. Maybe put me on the other side of Barwin. Is that possible?
Yeah. If you're using are you using your bonus action to cunning action?
Oh, no. Where do I get to?
If you use all of your movement, you get basically behind Avery, like one square to the left of where Avery is. So you won't really have an angle from there. But if you use cunning action, you have your full movement again to use if you like, or you can use the dash action. Up to you.
Yeah, all right. Let's use the cunning action.
All right. I'll pop you into visibility there. So then if you use your cunning action, you get here with your regular movement, and you have 30 feet at your disposal again if you want to do that. So you want to go to the left of Barwin?
Yeah.
Okay, that's 5, 10. So you have 20 more feet at your disposal if you want to use that.
Let's say I might take it after I take my shot.
Sure. Who you targeting?
Can I shoot the blue one?
Yori is kind of in the way.
All right. Can I take step in front of Barwin then?
Yeah, I reckon if you step directly in front of Barwin.
Yeah.
I'll give you line of sight, especially because Yori is a halfling and so shorter anyway. It's a little bit easier to angle around to get your shot. So you wanna target the blue?
Yeah.
Make your attack roll with advantage.
Oh, yeah, okay. Should I roll again? I'll just roll.
Yeah,
again.
sure. See if it's a crit. But yeah, you will get a hit.
I'll just roll 20. No.
Okay. No, that's fine. So you will hit. So roll your damage and add sneak attack if you like.
Nice.
If you like. You obviously like.
Yeah, I love it. I love it so much.
Want some more of it.
Plus.
So that's 17 points of damage.
Yeah.
Okay. Avery, you've just like in rapid succession winged off 2 shots into this creature. Caliban comes around the side, around in front of you after your next shot, and very quickly pops off another one. Buckle, this one that's been standing right next to you. Caliban's arrow actually hits the back of that head again, right where Avery has been shooting, and takes the head clean off of the skeleton. The rest of the bones dropping down into a heap. That is it for old mate. He's gone.
Very old, mate.
Super old mate. So then that's that one done. That's Caliban's most everything, unless you want to use your final 15 feet.
I'm going
you can.
to take 15 to go as far back into the towards the back of the boat as I can.
Yeah, you can go 5, 10. You can get like back here if you like.
Yeah, cool.
Okay. So Caliban is back there behind Barwin now. It is now the creature's turns. So Blue has just fallen. Orange has taken note of Yori coming up from behind, and Buckle having grown huge. But, however, before any of them move, the water to the left side of the ship begins to change, and a strange green light emerges from underneath it.
The Kraken!
Rising up
Tyrion.
next to Barwin, as you, with your passive perception being piqued by this sound and change, looking out to your left, a figure begins to rise out of swirling water, a kind of whirlpool turned upside down, moving side to side, and a green flaming light lighting up a skeletal face with long arms, wearing a cloak and cape. I hope that's shown up on your view now.
Yeah.
This creature arises from that part of the ship, drifting from underwater up so that the water itself seems to be propelling it up. Larger than these other skeletal creatures, and with a staff of green flame, it looks directly at you, Barwin, and it puts the staff forward. And then from it, this strange sort of sequence of sounds that sounds like deep bass echoes in the halls of a giant cathedral. The same voice back and forth, and then suddenly muffled as if underwater. And as it finishes uttering whatever it was it uttered, from the staff comes this black, bluish energy expanding in a cone outward from it. And I'm going to need... Yeah, no, that's a 30-foot cone, which means...
Could have just gone back down.
means Caliban, Barwin, Avery, and Rav. Let me just make sure I've got this right.
How tall is that crow's nest?
It's not 30 feet high. So it is
35 feet.
The way it works is that the sides of the cone are 30 feet, so it doesn't actually go 30 feet straight up. You would be on the... No, you're in range. I've made a little triangle thing on here so that I can actually sort of see where it fits. Yori is just outside of this range. Lucky Yori in this case. So that means I need Caliban, Barwin, Avery, and Rav to make dexterity saving throws, please. Some of you can do it on... You can all do it on screen if you like, or you can do it...
Rough.
and tell me. Caliban, that's a 17. That is a success.
Hey.
Oh.
Oh no!
Barwin, that is a 3. That is not.
That one.
Oh.
No way! Oh my god.
Avery, that is an 8. That is a fail.
Goodness.
Oh.
Do that once.
Ravelor, have you made yours?
Yeah, I did.
I didn't see yours. What did you roll?
What was it, like a 14? Let me look at my chart. Yeah, 14.
A 14, unfortunately, does not succeed.
I
So,
meant 16.
yeah, I bet you did. Okay, so those of you who... Here's how this is going to work.
Oh no. Jeez.
Those of you who failed, you are going to take 15 points of cold damage.
Can I use reactions?
You will be able to use a reaction, yes. I suspect you'll want to on that one.
Yeah. A heater.
But you are also going to take 17 points of necrotic damage.
Oh.
And I separated those for a reason, because Barwin, you have a specific feature that will apply to that cold damage, I think, not the necrotic. Would you like to use that reaction?
Yes, I would.
Okay, I thought so. This is your dampen elements feature, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Grant
Barwin, yeah, as a nature cleric, has this ability to change her resistance to elemental damage like that. So you will only take 7 cold damage, but you'll still take the full 17 necrotic as well. Okay, so make sure you all mark that on your character sheets.
So sorry, if we're not borrowing, how much damage do I do?
If you failed your save, you will
I
take
did.
15 cold damage and 17 necrotic. However, my rogues in the house have slightly different rules for this as well, because this is a dexterity save. Caliban, you succeeded, which means you take no damage because you have evasion. Avery, you failed, but you have evasion as well, which means that instead of taking full damage, you will take half damage, which in this case would be 7 cold damage and 8 necrotic for a total of 15 damage.
Oh, 15. Okay.
And I'll double check something on this feature, because you might otherwise have a reaction you could use, but I don't think evasion requires your reaction. So I did want to check on that. Ryan, do you know that offhand? If your rogue reaction business?
I'm just looking now. Evasion is just instant. It's not a reaction.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that does mean, Avery, you have a reaction at your disposal. If you would like to, you can use your uncanny dodge feature.
Yeah. Okay. I'll use my uncanny dodge.
Then that means you can take half of that damage, which half of 15 total. Because of, sorry, you failed, didn't you? Caliban succeeded. So you can take 15 total damage from that, as opposed to you normally would have taken closer to 30.
Okay, so still 15 damage, basically.
Yes, correct. So Caliban got 0 because he succeeded and then used evasion, and you failed, but used evasion to half it. That's where I'm wrong.
But then you
half your half. So you actually can add 7 or add 8 points back to that 15 you took off, as we round up for that. We got there in the end. Area of effect spells. Holy moly. Okay. Holy moly. In that case, this creature, having come up and done that, is then going to use its speed. It is going to use its movement speed to disappear back below the waves. That is its turn. The skeletons, which are still up in your grills, are going to now take their actions. Yori, being right there, is going to have to deal with 1. Da-bum. The green, having tried and failed with Barwin, is going to just sprint back to Buckle to gang up on him with the other. They're both going to attack Buckle with advantage. And the first swing is a natural 20. So you're going to take double dice damage for that.
Cool.
But he's a big boy.
He is a big boy. He doesn't have big extra hit points, though. So that's still not a great roll. Only 9 points of piercing damage from that first attack.
I've just gotten to below 40 HP. Buckle's fine for now.
Yeah, well, you're about to take several more attacks. Okay, nope. The second swing is going to miss.
Riposte.
You have reactions now. You can take your swing, and remember to So make your roll. This is
where did it go?
This is the red one who you've hit before, who's swinging at you.
Perfect. Cool. Just melee weapon attack. Same thing.
All right, 18 will hit. Roll your damage plus your extra d4.
So now it's 1d8 plus 2 plus 8. No, 2d8 plus 2.
Sorry,
just talking to myself. Oh, great. It's 1d8. 1d8 plus 2 is the damage plus my superiority die that I add.
That's right. I was like, where did that extra d8 come
Yeah.
from? You do also have an extra d4 from your being big. If you didn't have that.
Doesn't he have inspiration as well?
He does, but he didn't need it in this case.
Yeah.
He already hit. So
yeah, let's roll that extra. Let's roll that big boy damage.
So that's 5 points of damage plus another 1 for a mighty 6 points of damage. Every little bit helps.
Yeah.
Okay, so then that's 6 points of damage to very old mate. They are still swinging at you. So the red one hit you and missed you. Crit you and missed you, in fact. The green one is going to now take its 2 strikes. Yep, that first one's going to hit. The second one is going to hit as well. So I'll just do damage for both of those.
Yeah.
So you'll take 16 points of slashing damage total
Okay.
from both of those.
Ow.
Yeah, Buckle's starting to look a bit raggedy over there, I think.
Yeah.
So that's green and red. The orange is going to swing at Yori with her crazy armor class. And is going to hit. I'll roll the other one. Second one is going to miss. Okay. So then Yori is going to take 9 points of slashy damage. I'll mark that on her sheet. And that will be the creature's turns. So the other creature has descended beneath the waves. That takes us to Barwin's turn. No one is at the wheel at this point. Avery has been shooting. The ship is kind of adrift. So you have a choice to use your own sort of actions and let the ship go, or you can use your action to make the ship do something or go somewhere. It is totally up to you. That's
Cool.
That's the size of that.
I reckon Barwin's just going to let it go. 'Cause maybe if it gets hit by something, it'll be helpful.
Okay.
She's going to take a step forward, like 5 feet forward, and so that all the little skeletons are inside 30 feet, and she's going to try and turn them using a
Okay.
Lewen.
So is it a 30-foot radius?
Yes. Yeah.
Gotcha. And so then they need to make a wisdom save, is that right?
Yep, DC 15.
DC 15. Okay. How wise are we, skeletons? Not very. Okay. Just gonna roll them all here, because that's gonna be easier than doing them on there one at a time. Okay. There's 3 of them left. You said it's 15?
Yes.
Red, fail. Green is a fail. Orange is a fail.
What's their challenge rating?
Your limit
below.
is 1/2. It is not below 1/2. So they do not immediately turn to dust. No such luck this go around. However, they are turned, which means that they are now frightened of you, and they have to use their full movement speed, I believe, on their turns. But if you've got the feature there in front of you, if they have to use their reaction, do it right away. You can tell me.
Not turns because they can't take reactions.
That's right.
Just
That's
dash.
right. So Barwin, as a cleric, has a particular enmity with undead for their unnatural way of things. And then the light coming from your holy symbol seems to dazzle the remaining 3. And they are turned. It doesn't say that they immediately go their speed, does it? Because I'll move them
No,
now.
just on their turn, I think.
Okay, so when it gets to their turn, they will need to move. That is the only thing that they can do.
Sick.
Bowen just calls out, do not touch them, and they will run away. If we did hurt them, it will be ruined, and they will attack us more. And that's it.
Okay,
Oh no, she can do a bonus action too, I think.
she
So-
can, yes.
For a bonus action, she
Kills
is going
them.
to cast. Pardon? Yeah,
She-
she just decides to kill him. She's going to cast Healing Word on herself.
Okay, you can do that. So decide what level you're casting it and
Just to-
roll your healing.
Cool. Great. Cool. And then she's done.
You can add that. Okay. That is Barwin's turn. It is now Podrick's turn. You're below decks. What's Podrick doing?
Podrick's gonna hear all the commotion and run upstairs.
So you can use all your movement to get pretty much to the opening and sort of see these skeletons sitting there.
Okay.
What's Podrick thinking of doing?
Wait, you've been below decks this whole time?
Whole time. The whole time. So that's why I didn't get hit. It's probably a good thing. Then I'm going to so I'll get to the top. And I heard Barwin say not to hit them, so he won't. He will use a bonus action. He's going to use Spirit Totem.
Okay.
And I'm going to cast a bear next to Buckle.
Okay. You can do that.
And Buckle gets 12 temporary hit points, as does Yuri, I think.
As does who, sorry? Yuri?
Yuri. Anyone
Tell me
in
the
the
wording of the feature.
As bonus, you can magically summon a spirit to a point you can see within 60 feet. It lasts for a minute. Spirit creates an order in a 30-foot radius around that point. The bear grants you and your allies its might and endurance. Each creature of your choice in the aura, when the spirit appears, gains temporary hit points, which is 12. And advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws.
If it's 30,
Okay.
you get all of us, right? Or is it the other spot? Other side?
It depends. Where are you putting it, Podrick?
What's the best way to do this? Where's 30 feet? You don't have a circle for me, do you?
30 feet is 6 of those squares.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah. If I put it like just below the yellow, below the orange one, I should get Rav as well, shouldn't I?
Please do.
Yep.
I'm hurting.
1, 2.
Yeah.
Oh, I reckon I could get most people actually. If I put it next to the orange one, like just below Yori. 1, 2, 3,
Yeah,
4,
you
5,
will-
6.
you
I'll get
delete
Caliban
it,
as well.
everyone.
I'll get everyone. Yeah, let's do
You'll
it.
get everyone. This your Spectral Bear. It's been a minute since the bear has come out.
Yeah.
All of you then can add into your temporary HP up next to your hit points on the character sheet. You can add 12 there. It's not your actual hit points, but it's there as a buffer before your real hit points get taken again. Okay. So that is Podrick. We're back at the top with Avery. At this point, you've heard Barwin say that they not to touch them. So it's up to you how you want to use your movements, bonus actions, and actions. What's Avery doing? Oh, I can't hear you, Avery.
muted.
I don't know what's happened.
You're
Have you
muted.
muted yourself?
Yeah, there you go.
I'm gonna use just inside the entryway to the stairs.
Sorry, I didn't hear the first part of that. You said you're going to move to the entry?
Yeah, so I want to move to the entryway to the stairs, and then I just want to hide in there.
Okay, so Podrick is kind of there. If you want to, you can slip past Podrick and go down the steps a little bit, if you want to, and use your bonus action to hide.
Yeah, I'm gonna use that.
Sure. Make a stealth check.
Sure.
Okay, pretty stealthy. You're pretty confident you are out of prying eye shot where you are. Okay, so that's Avery. Well, that moves us to Rav, then Yori, then Buckle. The skeletons are gearing up to run. You've been told by Baron what to do. What is Rav doing?
Rav is hurting. Yeah. I've only got 12 hit points left. So
plus your temporary ones.
Yeah, plus 10. But so I kind of think Rav is gonna hightail it down below decks in case Big Daddy Bones comes back.
Okay, so you want to use your movement and dash action to get below decks?
Yeah.
And that's what it would take? Okay. Yes, Buckle?
Can I call a flashback?
I'm intrigued. I'm very intrigued by what this could mean.
Just talking to Rav one day on the ship, and Buckle's just like,
give me a moment to slip into something a little more appropriate.
I feel like we should say we're stealing the flashback mechanic from Blades in the Dark.
Yeah, we've done this at least once before, but very rarely used. Tell us the situation. Where and when are we? What's this memory Buckle is having?
This is right after. This is while a few days ago the ship caught fire after a fireball duel erupted between Ravelor and an agent of the Four Winds. Mm-hmm. And so afterwards, let's say I'm just talking to Rav, and Buckle's like, I cannot wait for us to get off of a wooden floor, for then your fireballs would be much more effective.
Art thou talking to me, Buckle? For thou canst see I'm engaged elsewhere.
I just think if it were possible, say for thee to fry the fish in the ocean with such a large burst of fire.
And back to the first. I have to revise that mechanic. Okay. Rav, you are using your movement and your dash action to get down from the crow's nest and to go below decks, in case Papa Bones emerges, as you said.
On his way below decks, Rav has a flash of memory of a conversation from earlier. And then he casts Fireball at the ocean.
I'm sorry, the ocean is far out of range of this spell.
Well played.
Come on, that's an ocean.
Well played. There's a bloody bird in it.
Yes. That is the very fine line of metagaming business that we have just straddled.
It wasn't as meta in my head, but then I said it.
I just don't understand it because Big Daddy Bones, we never have a chance to shoot him.
Remember that time we learned a lesson that was exactly what you should do on your turn in combat right now?
Rav?
Yeah. We could just call out Fireball.
Yeah.
Rav, wait a minute. Okay, Rav, before going below decks, shoots an arrow at the ship.
This didn't
Interesting.
work out. Okay.
I can't remember if it worked out or not.
You'll have to make a
Yeah.
choice. You can do something with your action, or you can get below decks. It takes your action to dash to get below decks.
Okay,
It's
I'm
up
gonna
to-
go
up to
below
you.
decks like a scaredy little coward boy.
Okay. Rav makes it kind of down close to where you are, Avery. There we go. And actually, Rev, you don't notice Avery. Your passive, as high as it is not as high as Avery's wild stealth check just then. So
I don't see her in a tiny stairwell.
who knows where she's going? To be honest, you don't even know to look for her.
Wow.
You don't even know what she looks like. So.
Yeah, no, Avery. Who's Avery? Avery has stealthed out of your memory. That is Rav's turn. That will take us to Yori.
Someone boil water.
Yori, with her battle axe in one hand, is looking over the side of the deck towards where these bones were, and then back at these skeletons. And she looks very skeptical at them, having taken on Barwin's order. She's not swinging, but she sort of like winds up the axe, like getting ready. This is her readying in action. She's going to swing that axe if it looks like those skeletons are doing anything sideways, other than running away. Okay, that is Yori's turn. That takes us to Buckle, then Caliban, then the creatures. What's Buckle doing? Big Buckle.
Buckle's gonna smash red mate again.
Okay. Buckle can do that. Make your attack roll.
Oh no!
Ooh.
14 is a hit.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Roll your damage.
And then that is a. What was that? 1d8 plus 6?
It's whatever your dex modifier is. So it's probably 1d8 plus 2, unless you need to also add your d4.
Just because I'm enlarged.
Yeah, that's what the d4 is.
Oh, okay. So that's 2d8.
If you're doing a superiority dice. Are you using a maneuver? So your rapier
I'm doing
does
a- I'm doing
2d8
a-
of damage,
Bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
plus your dexterity modifier, which I think is a plus 2.
Yeah.
So it's 1d8 plus 2 is your normal attack. Now, your normal damage. But you're large now, so you get to add a
Yeah.
d4 to that. So it's 1d8 plus 1d4 plus
What's a
2.
d4?
Correct. You used another d8 last time because you used a maneuver, which allowed you to add a superiority die.
13.
Pretty good roll. 13 points of piercing damage. That's your first attack. You can roll another one if you like.
I'm gonna ready a new level 7 thing that I haven't tried before. I'm gonna ready a disarming attack to shoot the skeleton wizard when it next appears.
Okay. Had you not already made your first attack, I would say you can do that, but you do have to use your action to ready an action. So you've taken the attack action. Now you have another attack as part of that attack action, but
I see.
You have to use that.
Then I will bonk the red boy again.
Okay.
Also, his name is Big Daddy Bones.
That's
so,
a miss.
So say you bonked Big Daddy Bones.
Bonk Big Daddy Bones after the finger blasting. That is a 13 is exactly what you needed. That second one is going to be a hit.
So if they're skeletons, does that mean you got fingered and boned at the same time?
That's correct.
exactly
7 points of damage.
exactly what happened.
I think he's been fingered, but he's about to do the boning.
So, Buckle, you have bonked and pierced this pile of bones, etc., etc., etc. twice. It is still up, and it is now no longer turned. The orange and the green ones are turned.
Oh no, I didn't. Oh no.
They are still getting ready to go, but you have knocked some sense into the red one. And it is now Caliban's turn, unless you have more bonus actions or movement you wish to use. that should do us, I think.
Oh, you're
for
talking to me.
Buckle's turn, unless
No,
you did
that's the
it
end of my turn.
Cool.
Um,
Caliban, it's you.
I'm going to bonus action hide.
Okay. Where would you like to hide?
Can I hide? Is that a trebuchet? Is that a thing
Little
that's actually
ballista?
there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay.
Spelled it wrong.
It's going to depend on your motive for once you've hidden. What are you going to do?
I want
once
to
you've-
hide. I want to hide. So if the other fella reappears, I have advantage. When he reappears, that I could take a shot and get sneak attack, I guess.
Okay. Because the ship has railings, or kind of like a little bit of a wall and rail, you could attempt to sort of crouch down and put like your back up against there. You'd be very close to where the creature went down. It's up to you. Otherwise, you could use your movement and go, say, behind the mast. It's up to you. You could stay pretty much where you are and attempt to hide. It slightly affects the DC based on, how much reasonable cover you're giving yourself.
Uh-huh.
If you're standing in the open, you can make a stealth check all you like, but you're not hiding, right? That kind of thing.
Yeah. But I'm also, very good at this. All right. Yeah. Let's hide behind the mast then.
Okay. So then you can go.
Yeah, I'll do it like, Superman style.
Yeah. So you can sort of get to where, the squares don't necessarily get it perfect, but the mast is between you and where the creature came up last. So you can sort of like, stand sort of sideways there. Make your
cover
stealth
as
check.
well, or
At the moment, yes. If someone is firing at you from directly on the other side of the mast, you would have cover.
Cool. And I'm gonna ready an action. If I see him, I'm gonna shoot him.
Okay. If you see Big Daddy Bones, you'll be able to use your reaction to take that shot. Okay, that is Caliban's turn. That will take us to the creature's turns. The orange creature has to use its full movement to skedaddle, so it's going to do that. 5. Let's see where it is. It can run right past Yori, who is itching to swing that battle axe at it, and not doing it, not taking an opportunity attack. It's killing her. 5, 10, 15, 20. The skeleton just like running man's off the edge of the ship, which at this point is just kind of adrift in the water. Like the wind is still sort of pushing it, but it's moving each of these sort of rounds. The skeleton disappears into the water. As that happens, the green one is likewise going to go 5, 10, 15, running man straight off the side. Is Buckle taking an opportunity attack?
Yes.
No!
Sorry,
Okay.
against the green one or the red one?
The green one. The red one's still there. The red one is like engaged with Buckle. You've just hit it, and
then
it's
not
like
I won't hit the green one.
okay.
Oh my god!
The green one runs off the side. It is still turned, using its full speed to get away.
Far out.
The red one is, however, going to use its action to swing twice at you. What's Buckle's AC?
18.
18. That is the first one is going to be a hit.
Okay.
Second one will be a miss.
Can I riposte the second one?
You can. This will be your reaction for this round. But yep, you can do that. So I will tell you the damage for that first one.
Yep.
And then you can make your attack roll for your riposte. So take 9 points of piercing damage or slashing damage off your temporary HP if they're still there. And then
What was
you can
the
make your attack
temporary
roll.
HP? Did everyone get that? I was
12.
using the bathroom. Wow. Okay. Cool.
So the bear that you can vaguely see there, it's actually a spectral bear, courtesy of your shepherd druid.
I thought that was a
Podrick.
sack of wheat.
A 20 is going to hit. So roll your damage, which again, because you're large, is a D8 plus a D4 plus 2.
Funny that my bear's name is Wheat, so
Okay,
Nice.
9 points of damage. When you slice down with your rapier this time, you manage to get a point right on the sort of shoulder joint area, and as you pull out with a bit of leverage, you actually snap the arm off of this skeleton, and it is like still twitching animately on the ground as the other arm is like swinging its scimitar at you. It's looking pretty rough. Looking pretty rough, old mate Red. But it is alone now on the deck of the ship. But of course, from the depths, there will emerge our good buddy, who comes up just next to the side, using its movement speed to do so.
Would that trigger an attack of opportunity from Yori?
It is entering her space.
Okay.
What is
That's my
Caliban, did
shot.
you just make an attack roll?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do I get?
Yep.
should I
That was
roll
your
that
first.
again?
You should roll again just in case you get a crit, because you have advantage firing from your hidden place.
Oh.
No.
Okay, none of that then. Okay,
Do I get sneak
but
attack
you-
on in this
You
situation?
had advantage, so yes. Anytime you get advantage on an
Yeah,
attack
okay,
roll, you can
cool.
roll for sneak attack damage.
It's 5 d6 plus 4. Ugh. Yeah. 17.
We'll
Is
take
that
it.
17?
Yep.
Okay, 17 points of shooty damage. You fire your shot, and the arrow does thud into the swirling cloak of this creature. It does not seem phased very much. Some of the cloak tears. It does seem to be hit by it, but not nearly much as it could have been.
Right. This isn't gonna go.
That
well
is
for
your
me.
shot.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to roll a d6 in front of you all now, for reasons.
Oh no.
Lucky you.
Yay.
Okay. In that case,
It misses.
the creature, having risen from the depths of the water, is then going to turn its attention to Giant Buckle, and is going to reach out its staff, and from the tip of that flaming green handle, a burst of purple black energy is going to come streaming directly at you, Buckle.
Yep.
Oh,
14 does not hit Buckle. The red is still there,
Yeah.
so I'm rolling this with advantage, just in case. Still a 14. Still doesn't hit. Okay, I'll just roll another 2d20s to make that a bit more efficient. Take the highest. Oh, my boy. Okay.
Take the highest one, Adam. Take the highest one.
I will. It is a nasty, silly, stupid 14. That's what it is. Bad. So that is its turn for actions. It is, however, going to stay generally where it is. Yeah, it's going to stay and just keep pace with your ship right there. That is its turn. It is now surveying what is happening here.
But it's still in the water, isn't it?
So what is happening visually is that the water has like brought it up so that it is like looking slightly down on all of you, and it is just like keeping pace with your drifting ship.
So it's not in the ship at all. Yeah, cool.
That is so much worse for some reason that it's just watching.
Yeah, I mean it has like reached out its staff and fired 2 shots at Buckle, but with your
Can I
shield
just
mastery,
ask,
Big
you're able
bass.
to sort of. Yep. What's that, Ryan?
Can I just ask how fast is the ship going? And
So when normally
per
speaking,
turn?
it would have about 30 feet per round. Whoever's driving it can use their action to sort of effectively make it dash or make it turn. But it has just been sort of drifting along with the river and whatever the wind is doing with it.
So are we just like saying that the creature can move 30 feet around as well as coming out of the water? Can it move more than that, or? So
the creature has a swim speed, which it has been using to sort of maintain this. Now, given where we are in the initiative order, what we can do is say that the ship is making its sort of default movement, and then you will move slightly away, and then it will move to catch up with you. It has the movement speed to handily do that. It is kind of as far as what you can see on the map. We'll say it'll be Barwin, then Podrick. And at the end, we can say usually that would be the ship's sort of turn, and I'll tell you maybe how far the creature has drifted from you at that point. But then it'll use its movement to catch up on its turn. I think that's a good point.
Cool.
Okay, so that means it is Barwin's turn, then Podrick. What's Barwin doing?
Barwin is going to cast Guiding Bolt at the 2nd level.
Okay. Make your spell attack roll.
Alright.
Oh. 17. A 17 is a hit, so you can roll your damage.
Okay. Double check I'm not adding more dice.
Yep.
Oh, I added too many. I can't go back now.
That's okay. You can just like click X and then restart it. Okay. Pretty good. 20 points of radiant damage. Okay. Pretty good lick. The bright light coming from your hands smashes into this creature, who does seem to take the full effect of the damage. And the water that's holding it up sort of flexes with the impact, the sort of whirlpool moving and spiraling with it before sort of snapping back into its place, and looking at Barwin with renewed attention, having taken this damage. Unlike the skeletons, which sort of had this dull glimmer of purpley black in their eyes, this creature's eyes are burning bright purple, and like looking from each of you with a kind of calculated appearance. That is Barwin's turn.
Can I add a bonus action?
Sure.
For my bonus action, actually, it's for a movement. She's just going to try and move behind Podrick.
Okay. Good luck. Yeah. 5, 10, 15 feet will get you there. Is that the square you meant? Or did you mean to the left?
To the left one.
Okay. Yep, you can do that.
That's it.
That's Barwin's turn. It's now Podrick.
Can I, using the water that is at its feet, right?
Yep.
Can I summon a tidal wave?
Nice.
Yeah, you can do that. Tell me exactly where you're placing this, your area of effect.
So, like, the last drop of water that is closest to its body, right? So it starts from that drop of water, and then it's going to go outwards toward, like, pushing it away from the boat, technically.
Okay.
But it doesn't.
So with the way the spell works is there's a certain area that it affects, right? And then if whoever fails their save in that area is hurt and pushed. Is that
That's
the
right?
way?
No, just knock prone. It's hurt.
Okay, so it doesn't do damage?
It does bludgeoning damage and then knocks them prone.
Right. So then this creature then needs to make a save.
Yes.
Okay. So what is that save?
It's a Dex 14.
Dex 14. Noted. That is a success. So it is going to take half damage and will not be knocked prone.
Yes.
Okay. So then roll your bludgeoning damage.
Which is 4d8. Give me a second. There.
17 points of magical bludgeoning damage. What does it look like when you summon this tidal wave around this creature?
So I point my staff to that drop of water, and this drop of water like floats a little bit, and then turns like a shimmery green, and then this giant tidal wave just expands from it.
Okay. As it does so, that's half of that. Sorry, I'm just doing some maths.
Oh, 17.
Cool. Okay. So then you, as you slam this water into this creature, which it seems itself partially to be almost consisting of the cold water it's rising out magically of this river from, it's almost like watching a wave at a beach hit someone who's planted their feet extremely strongly, and it just like crashes against them, but they don't move. A spray of water goes flying straight up into the air, and you can see the creature sort of silhouetted. And when the water subsumes the green light, it's muted for a second, and then it subsides. And the cloak that is sort of manifested out of the water is like rippling to the side, and then it stays steady, still staring at each of you in turn, sort of watching what you do. It has taken damage from it. Okay, that is Podrick's action. Do you have a movement or bonus action you would like to use?
No.
Okay, then it is now sort of the ship's turn in initiative. Could I get... actually, I'm just going to roll a d4.
Uh-oh.
Okay, let me decide something in my head right quick. Yeah, cool. Okay, so on a 3, the ship as a whole is going to start drifting by our map downward. It is going slightly forward with the river current, but everything is. So that kind of everything being equal, it is starting to drift sort of off course to the starboard side. So I will go ahead and simulate that on our map by just moving our creature 10 feet away. And bump. So you're kind of gone at a diagonal. Let me move one more there. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. How is that for you? He's like just beginning to get out of your range on the map view at the moment. He actually, if I'm doing my math correctly, would be one more square. There we go. So you have drifted in a kind of diagonal away from the creature. It means at the top of the initiative order, which is Avery, this is the lay of the land. He is out of the creature is out of the water, but at that distance from you. So what's Avery doing, hiding down below? Are you holding tight, or are you going to move?
I think I'm going to try to shoot it in the head.
Okay, you will need to move to get out from your hiding.
Sorry, Siri heard that, and she said,
I've done the same thing several times.
Siri goes, "Who should I shoot in the head?"
Yeah. Siri
I'm sorry,
goes,
I'm afraid I can't do that.
Yeah.
Elizabeth.
I've now called the police.
Sorry, what were you saying, Adam?
You'll need to use your movement to get back to where you can see, but where would you... you have enough movement to get into a pretty good range of places. Where would you like Avery to take her shot from?
I kind of want to hide behind this... What's it called? Trebuchet?
Ballista?
What am I going to do? I want to hide behind that thing, the arrow thing. Yeah, the ballista. I want to hide behind there, so use my movement to get there. And then I'm going to try and shoot. And I think I want to try to use my sharpshooter.
Okay. So this is a new feat for you. So you have, I guess, an option here. You because either of these would require a bonus action. So if you want to actually hide, you can make a stealth check with your bonus action, cunning action to hide, and then shoot. If you want to It's kind of like you're using the same strategy either way, really, now that I think about it, because you can either steady aim, but you didn't move. You've done the right thing. I'm just talking out loud. I should stop. Make a stealth check.
Okie dokie.
For verisimilitude's sake, this can be like how stealthily you sort of creep out of where you are without sort of rising above the railing and therefore view.
Oh.
What a roller coaster. It's that 13. Okay. Then you... 13, unfortunately, is exactly the creature's passive perception. So you will be visible to it, as it is also engaged and staring you down. So you're not going to get advantage on this shot, but you can take a shot as normal if you like.
All right. And
that's sneak attack. It's just your normal attack and not an advantage.
Okay.
Okay, a 17 does hit. So you can roll your damage, a d8, I believe, +4.
And then what do I do with the sharpshooter feat?
Ah, right. Okay, so if you did declare your intention to do that, that is going to change things just slightly. So it was a d20 +7, but sharpshooter actually takes 5 off of your attack roll. That's the gamble. And if it hits, you get to do 10 extra damage. What that means is you did not roll a 17. You actually rolled a 12, which is going to miss, unfortunately.
Okay.
So your arrow is going to shoot straight into that magically twirling geyser of water and seem to ineffectually just get spun around inside of it.
All right.
But that's where Avery is. That takes us to Rav, who is gone down below decks and is just in the stairwell. What's Rav doing?
Okay, so can Rav cast Shatter from below decks? Because the description doesn't say I have to see the spot.
What does it exactly say?
It says, a sudden loud ringing noise, painfully intense, erupts from a point of your choice within range. Doesn't say I have to see it.
Well, the only issue with this is Rav went below decks before the ship drifted. So Rav doesn't actually know where the creature is. So if you want to roll the dice, so to speak, Rav can just pick a random spot, but it would be pretty tough. Well nigh impossible, I would say.
All right, Rav's going to poke his head out of the hidey hole, and he's going to cast Fireball.
Okay. So you come up. Yeah, you can poke your head up and clearly see it, and you're going to cast Fireball, which has a dex save. What is the save DC for you? 16, something like that? 15?
15.
Okay. Just double check real quick.
But he's still like that far away from the ship, right?
Yeah, he is. He is however many feet that is, 30-ish feet away from the ship now. Just checking something right quick. Okay. It's
but
gonna
can I cast it like this?
Like a dog.
I'm hiding. This is the hole.
Okay, you do have to get up as far as where you can see, but you can use your movement to go back down the stairs. Like you only went a little ways in.
That's what.
But you do need to see it to do your point your finger and send that wave out. It is going to make a dex save now.
And Rav goes, spicy.
Okay, I'm gonna roll this one out in front of you so you see if it succeeds or not.
Oh no!
That is a success. So it will take half the damage you roll. You still roll your 8d6s of fire damage.
Wait, sorry, I was confused. I thought you had to get under 15.
No, so if you beat the 15, you succeed. If it rolled less than a 15,
I succeed.
then no, sorry, the creature rolled that dexterity saving throw.
Right.
It succeeded. It rolled above your 15,
Yeah.
which means it's going to take half the damage from your spell. That's what a success means on Fireball.
Cool.
If it failed, it would take full damage.
Oh, I thought it had to success or fail to take any damage. So
Some spells are like that, but some spells like Fireball, you take half if you succeed. You have to be someone like Caliban or Avery who can use evasion, for example, to get out of it on a success. So you roll 8d6s of fire damage.
Oh, well, When casting the spell of 4th level or higher, damage increases by 1d6 for each slot above 3rd.
Yes. So if you want to in future, you can say I cast Fireball at 4th level when you're casting it, and you can tell me, and then it'll have more damage.
Oh, okay. So I'm not casting it at 4th level currently.
Unless you tell me so as you cast it.
I see. So then I'm casting it at
the 3rd level.
3rd.
Yeah.
Cool.
So you have to make that choice before you know if you hit, for example.
I did, but I just didn't tell you. But I'll tell you next time.
Okay.
Okay. So I do 1d6. How many d6s?
So it's 8 d6s.
Wow.
Fireball.
It's hot.
Smoke it. All right, here they come. Wait, that's one.
That is 1d6 plus 8. So you rolled a 6. So that's good. I'll let you keep that 6. That's fun. So now roll 7 d6s and add 6 to that total, whatever it is.
Hit the D6 7 times.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's a good roll.
Wow.
6 is 40 points of fire damage.
Whoa.
Okay.
That's hot.
Okay, Rav, you send this fireball its way. It did succeed on its save, so it's taking half damage. Okay. So the fire explodes around it, and it seems much less affected by this fire magic than it might otherwise be. Not only has it succeeded on its saving throw, this creature made of swirling water in part seems to shrug off the cindering impact of this magical fire. Takes some damage, but does not seem very perturbed by it. Sometimes Pokemon rules apply. Okay.
Rules always apply.
That's Rav's action and a bit of movement. So you want to use your movement to go back down under?
Yeah.
Okay. You can do that. That takes us to Yori, then Buckle, then Caliban. Yori, very irritated by the distance of this creature, decides to turn her attention towards the skeleton that is still attacking Big Buckle. She is going to run over here and raise her battle axe, as she is wont. She's going to make an attack roll. Just make sure something. Yeah, she'll do that. She rolls that with advantage because Buckle flanking. And that is going to be a hit. So she's going to do... Make sure I looked at that correctly. +4. She is going to do 8 points of damage to Red. How does Yori want to do this? I'll tell you how Yori wants to do this. Yori is shorter than this creature, and so Buckle, you can just see a flash of that axe whirring from the side, and then it connects with the spine of the skeleton at hip height and just bisects it horizontally. And the skeleton sort of like, you can see the purple light fade from its sockets as it falls back on itself, its 2 legs sort of taking several ghost steps and then collapsing themselves into a pile of bones on the deck. Very old mate is gone. So that's it for them. So that is one of Yori's attacks. She has an extra one. She's very frustrated about not getting to use it. So she's like, and whirls around, facing the larger creature out in the distance. That is Yori's turn. It is now Buckle's turn, then Caliban. Buckle, what you doing?
Crossbow attacks count as weapon attacks, yeah?
They are indeed weapon attacks. They're ranged weapons. Yeah.
Then I'm going to shoot the big fellow with a disarming attack.
Interesting. Okay.
I'm sorry. My aim is I want to get it to drop its staff.
Yep, I gathered. So then you're going to tell me about this feature. You make an attack roll, and on a hit, you expend a superiority die. Is that how it goes?
Yep, I expend a superiority die and add it to the damage, and the target is disarmed if it fails a strength saving throw with a DC of 13.
Okay. Yeah. Make your attack roll then.
Oh, do I still get embiggen damage from this?
I believe that might only apply to melee weapon damage, but let me see.
It says weapons.
If that's what it says, I just want to check on something. Yeah, no, you're right. So the weapons are enlarged with you, so that means you're firing a bigger crossbow bolt. That's the rationale for that.
You got a trip.
Oh no, what did I do?
I don't know what you did. Looks like you rolled damage first. So
I rolled damage first.
So then
Forget
your
that,
damage,
that
if
didn't
you
happen.
hit, will be an 8. We'll keep
okay.
that. So then make your attack roll now. So look at your crossbow, see what your modifier is for that. It's probably the same as your rapier.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ooh, so close. 15 plus 5 is 20. That will hit. So now you're going to do 8 points of damage, and then it needs
And I
to
forgot
succeed
to
on
add. I forgot to add a D8 to my damage for my superiority die.
Yes, add another d8 then. So that's 8 points of damage.
That's 10 damage.
Battle Masters. Okay,
And then it has to make a strength saving throw.
so another 10. And this DC is 13 for the strength save?
Yes.
All right.
Saving throw.
I'll roll it in front of you so you see if it does. That's what we want.
Yeah.
That is a big old fail. Okay. Buckle, you time your shot immaculately. And as the creature is sort of like reeling from dealing with this fireball, its arm reaches out to the side at one point, and in a feat of bravado, perhaps, you actually turn your crossbow towards the hand, the wrist that is holding the staff, and you dead-eye it. It goes right through the sort of like bony hand right there and embeds in it, causing the grip to slack and the green flaming staff to drop into the depths below. The creature looks extremely taken aback by this turn of events, sort of looking down, grasping at it with its hand, like unable to fully form a grip because of where you put that arrow. A ethereal screech pierces the air, not of pain, of rage, as it sees the staff sinking into the depths, and its skull head looks up into the sky, and the eyes grow even brighter for a moment. The staff vanishes from sight. You have a second attack on this action if you'd like to use it.
I'm going to try to sharpshoot it now for my second attack.
So you're just rolling a straight d20 because your modifier is +5, right?
That's right.
So take that away. It's just roll that d20.
Oh.
Ooh, you took a gamble. It's not quite enough. The next shot is going to go wide. Perhaps the creature's convulsions and rage making it harder to hit.
Yeah. And I don't think I have any bonus actions I want to do. So I'm gonna action.
I should actually remind you,
Ooh,
Buckle, not to make key choices for you. You have Bardic Inspiration at your disposal that you have not yet used. Right?
Oh my
Unless I'm
god!
mistaken.
Yeah, can I add that to that roll?
You can add that. I'll say to that 13, if you'd like.
Oh, that's 17.
Yay!
That was what?
That was
Yeah.
amazing.
Buckle. A 17 is what you needed.
Sweet. So that is a what is that? 1d8 plus 2 plus 10.
So plus a d4.
Yeah.
Yeah. So your sharpshooter takes 5 off the attack roll, adds 10 to the damage roll. That's why it's a gamble.
Oh,
19 points of sharpshooty damage, which, much like at least Caliban's shots, doesn't seem to quite do as much damage as you expect it to be doing. We'll take that much off. Okay. In future, do declare your intention to roll Bardic Inspiration when you're making the attack roll. I'll double check on those rolls. I don't know. I don't know if you're able to do it once you know you hit or miss, but that's fine for now. That will take us from Buckle to.
I'm sorry.
Caliban.
Sorry.
You have a
Could I
bonus
action surge and just attack?
You're right.
Again?
You're just saying that. You can do that. You have another 2 attacks if you'd like to use them. Are you sharpshooting?
I'm sharpshooting, so I'll just roll 2d20s at once.
Okay.
And see where they take me. Oh.
Alas and alack. 16 is not quite enough.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just shy of what you needed. So those next 2 shots are going to miss.
Can I?
Got a bonus action?
I'm gonna bonus action. Yeah, I'm gonna do a rally on Ravelor.
Okay.
I'm gonna give Ravelor some temporary. I can give temporary HP to any friendly creature who can see or hear me. So I'm just gonna boom, Ravelor. That's all I'm gonna say.
And how many temporary HP do you give with this feature?
It's 1d8 minus 1.
Okay.
3.
3. Okay, Rav, how many temp HP do you have still left over from Podrick? Because you still have all 12?
12, yeah.
Okay, so I will say, are you expending a superiority die to do this, Buckle? Is that what the feature does?
I am.
So you can keep your superiority die because temporary hit points do not stack.
Oh.
So what that means is you do not need to use this feature at this point. I mean, I guess in theory you could replace the total if you wanted to do that, but you didn't know that part of the rule before this. So we can just say you didn't use your bonus action to do that. If you have a different bonus action you'd like to use, you can.
Nah.
Look,
Okay.
Buckle,
That's
it's
all.
okay. It happens to lots of guys. Don't worry.
Okay, that is Buckle's turn. It is now Caliban's turn. It will then be the creature's turns. What is
I don't really have much else I can do other than shoot, even though it's not going to do as much damage as I would like. I'm going to steady aim to give me advantage.
Yep, you can do that, which will give you sneak attack.
Yeah. 20. Should I just? I'll just roll them both.
Sure. So you'll take the 18 plus your modifier, which will be a hit.
Yeah. Okay.
Ooh.
That's it. Well.
Okay. 20 points of piercing damage. Every little bit helps.
Yeah, that's the philosophy.
Yeah. Tick, tick, tick. The creature, when you fire your arrow, this one does manage to hit this now staffless creature. It's like you can still see because of your dark vision, but is now progressively less and less illuminated by this green light. But you manage to steady your aim and pop it straight in its sort of upper torso area, and you watch the impact sort of move in the fading green light. It has taken the damage. That is Caliban's turn, unless you want to use your movement.
Nah.
Cool. You can do that then. It is now the creature's turn.
I don't like the creature's turn.
Would it help if I said it was my turn?
Not that
Makes
not
it
the way you
worse.
said it.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
That is a 6 on that d6.
Hold on.
What that means, Old Maid is coming your way. It's going to use its movement speed to get... Let me make sure I'm going the right way. Very inconvenient. Very inconvenient, this shape. It is going to get right alongside. Let's see, and Rav is gone. No, I know where it's going. Whoops. Sorry, Roll20 is a very interesting interface sometimes. As much as I love it for permitting us to do what we're doing. Okay. Also, we'll take a moment to shout out. I'll say this at the end as well, but the artists for this art, who I wrote down to thank at the end, Brian Syme, I think. These are really lovely. We'll mention more about that later. Okay, so the creature is going to come right here to this spot. It has rolled a 6 on that dice, which means magic has swelled up within it.
Even without its staff.
What is going to happen now is, as a result of Buckle's action, the save DC for this effect is going to be lower because the focus through which it was getting channeled is missing. It is still able to use it, however. Because technically this isn't a spell, it's an effect. However, I do want to reward that cool choice. Caliban, Podrick, and Avery, you are within the line of fire for this. Barwin is just outside of it.
Do I have cover?
Barwin hid behind me.
I'm sorry.
Barwin, you just like push me in front.
The reason that Barwin is outside of it is not because of Podrick, it's because the area of the effect stops right on Podrick.
I'm hearing the same thing. Adam, I'm hearing the same thing.
Well, hear what you like. Avery, Caliban, and Podrick make dexterity saving throws for me.
Do I get cover from the mast or not?
You have moved out to fire. The mask is between you and it. You will get partial cover.
Sorry.
What's that mean?
I didn't mean to.
It will mean. What's the 4? So Avery, for your dexterity save, that's okay. You just roll your dex save mod on top of the d20. Caliban, it means that the save will be a bit different for you as well. Okay, Podrick, that's a 17, which is a success.
You're lucky, Barwin.
No.
Oh.
Caliban, that is a 10, which even with with your benefit from cover is going to be a fail. You do have evasion.
Yeah.
Hey.
Avery with a 21, that's going to be a success. And that's everyone, right? So I will then... those of you who failed will take 21 points of cold damage.
Bowen uses the reaction to giving me
You're not
to
in my
Podrick.
pool. Oh.
Whom are you giving that to, Podrick?
Podrick, yeah.
Okay, so Podrick, you're only taking... You failed your save, right?
No,
You
it was
succeeded.
Not
So,
Podrick.
Podrick, you are going to take... You're taking half of the cold damage. So I'll roll my other... We'll do it all at once here in just a second. Then there's also necrotic damage to come.
Or were you trying to give it to someone else, Bowen?
No, I said you. You do it too.
And 20 points of necrotic damage. So, time for all of your crazy dancy abilities to take into effect now, you rogues, you rascals. Okay, so if you failed this check...
I think I was the only one that failed.
Okay, in that case, Caliban, you are taking, before any other things happen, 21 cold and 20 necrotic, but because of evasion, you're taking half of that anyway, which means 10 of each, so that's a total of 20.
And then I'll bet uncanny dodge.
To turn it into 10.
Yeah.
Dex saves. Okay, which means Avery and Podrick, you both succeeded, is that right? And
Yeah.
Podrick, you're getting Barwin's reaction to help you from the cold, so Podrick, you are only taking 5 cold damage
Mm-hmm.
and then 10 necrotic damage. And you can take your temporary HP down before getting to your regular hit points. Remember that.
So it was 5 necrotic, and then
Yep. And then 5 cold, 10 necrotic.
Right.
Because Barwin can help you with the cold. And she's right there behind you, so you can feel that like surge of the sower's magic moving through you, warming you slightly as this like fog of dark purplish black mist comes from the water itself and subsumes you all, and you can feel that ache of despair that I described from Buckle earlier. As the life is being pulled out of you, you feel closer to the grave for a moment. And then Avery, since you likewise had evasion and succeeded, you're taking no damage. So you're good. The creature is then going to use the remainder of its movement to duck below the surface and out of sight.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
It is now in the dark water. It is quiet. The next person up is Barwin, then Podrick, then Avery. It is up to you all. You now have like the next sort of turn, and then the ship also has its turn after Podrick, if depending on what you do. So what would Barwin be doing at this point?
I think Barwin's just going to walk back and take the helm again.
Okay, you can do that. So then, if you like, you can use your action to cause the ship to like sort of, you can like correct its course, and if you'd like to sort of effectively make it dash, move further ahead, so that Barwin is driving the ship, the wind catching it as best as she is able to make it. That is her turn. Podrick, it's your turn. What's Podrick doing at this point?
Podrick is going to summon a beast.
What kind of beast is Podrick summoning?
Podrick's going to summon a water beast.
Okay. My only question about this is whether you need to maintain concentration on your bear totem, because if so, this might not be able to be cast.
Right, of course.
Just like, yeah, it would do. You would know that if it says your bear totem requires concentration as a spell would.
Let me find that out.
In which case, I probably should have made you roll a concentration check a little while ago.
It doesn't.
Nice.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, then you can cast a concentration spell then.
Yeah.
Very cool feature, the bear.
I am going to...
That is a 2nd level spell.
Which one?
Summon Beast, is that what you're doing? Or sorry, I should have asked, which spell are you casting?
Yeah, it's Summon Beast. Are we casting it? I don't think it does much difference at the other levels anyway.
The difference, it makes your beast more powerful, so it
Right.
changes its stats a little bit depending on where you cast it.
It's too late for me to do it at 3rd level, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I would say so.
Yeah, cool. All right, well let's cast it at 2nd level then.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
So what does your beast look like? What kind of water beast are you summoning?
A kraken.
It is for the record a small beast, so it is a Yori-sized kraken.
It's a small kraken.
I love this. Oh my god.
Yori's already our Yori-sized kraken.
Oh my god.
Cool.
I have to know if there's something ready at hand that I can use to. Where are you putting it in the water?
Where the big boss daddy was. Big bone boy. Big
Big Daddy Bones. So yeah,
Big-
you've moved
big upper
forward
bump.
from that point, but you can put it in the water, sort of next to your ship if you want, or you can put it further away. Totally up to you. I'm just gonna-
That's where it was.
This is not the best looking one, but what the hey? Oh no, I can't put that there. Just grabbing a little icon. None of those work. We'll go with ooh, that looks fun. It's a little bonefish.
No.
So I'll pop it into the water right there. Having summoned the beast, you can then... When you cast it, choose its environment. It resembles an animal. It disappears when blah, blah, blah. It shares your initiative count, but takes its turn immediately after yours and obeys your verbal commands. No action required by you. So what do you order your little kraken, your small kraken, to do?
To find the dude and attack. Can it find an attack?
Yeah, you can say that.
Yeah, cool.
Okay. What is your little creature's speed?
It is 30 feet.
30 foot sprint speed.
30 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can't see or hear through its senses, right? So as far as your view is concerned, the little kraken disappears from sight into the water. And that will be its turn.
Thanks, Kraken.
Okay, so since Barwin has control again, the ship isn't just drifting. So you've sort of done your ship action. That brings us up to the top of the order, and then so we have everyone until the creature's turn, which is Avery, Rav, Yori, Buckle, and Caliban. You can take movement actions and bonus actions. You can ready actions. It is totally up to you how you spend this time when no threat is in sight.
Cool. I'm gonna ready an action for when it appears. I'm gonna try to shoot it in the head again.
Okay. So you
am I
use
able
your action
to
do
make?
that.
Yeah, am I able to make like an insight check to find out what its vulnerabilities are?
No. So an insight check won't give you vulnerabilities. There are a number of different class features that give you that kind of insight, but they're pretty niche and strong abilities. So if you like to, you can either hold your action to do that, or you can roll an insight check. And I'm happy to tell you like what you did read on them, unless there is an assassin feature I don't know about that lets you do what you've just described.
No, there's not.
Okay, some rogues have that kind of feature. I can't remember which, like insight, like inquisitive or mastermind rogue. Can I think like know their enemy and like sort of read them up and down kind of thing. So if you want to, you can hold your action, or I'll let you roll an insight check and see if you like. I can tell you things about how it seemed to react to certain things, but I've also kind of told you those things as DMs when they've happened. So
I'll just hold my action. I'll ready it for if it appears.
Sure thing. Rev, what you doing?
I'm gonna ready. Do I need to tell you what I'm readying?
Yes, because it depends. If you're readying a spell, you will consume the spell slot, even if you don't end up casting it. It's like you're summoning magical energy, but waiting for a trigger in the next turn. If you're readying a weapon attack, I just need to know that.
Okay, I'm gonna ready Shatter.
Okay, so that's at the what level are you readying it at?
I'm gonna ready it at 4th.
Okay.
Yeah. So I should spell that. Send that spell slot.
Yep. So within the next round, if I'm assuming you're readying it for if you see the creature again.
Yeah.
So then if you see the creature, you will cast the spell. If you do not see the creature in that time, you will just burn the spell slot and nothing happens.
Okay. And I'm still like peeking. Like I'm mostly below deck.
Yeah. I've got a bead on where Rav is. Okay. Rav is readying Shatter at the 4th level. Yori is going to put her battle axe away and take out her crossbow, and likewise ready a shot with her crossbow in case any threat appears. That takes us to Big Boy Buckle.
Buckle is gonna ready another disarming strike for if he ever sees that bloody staff again.
Okay. That takes us to Caliban.
Yeah, Caliban's gonna climb up into the crow's nest You can.
Okay.
And-
Yep, you can do that.
And I'm ready in action of a crossbow shot. If I see.
A short bow?
No, crossbow.
Oh, I didn't realize you had a crossbow.
Oh no,
Okay.
yeah, I've got both actually.
Did not know.
Yeah, because I've been picking up traits along the way. Remember?
Yeah, that's right. You
Yeah.
would have gotten them well back ago.
Yeah. So I've been
Okay.
using a hand. I might actually start. Yeah, it's the same. Yeah, I'll use the short bow because it's got a greater range.
Okay, so is it a hand crossbow or a light crossbow?
No, I'll use the short bow because it's got a greater range.
Okay, I'm asking because I think a light crossbow actually has longer range than a short bow, as well as higher damage dice. So that's why the hand crossbow is a D6.
No, I've only got a hand crossbow. Yeah.
Then that makes sense. Okay,
Yeah.
sure, gotcha.
Yeah. Sorry.
All right, that's quite all right. Then a whole bunch of you have readied your actions. It is now the creature's turn. Just doing some maths.
The Kraken killed it, didn't it? My little Kraken.
Podrick, I would like for you to make an attack roll as your water beast.
Woo.
Is it just a D20?
It's a D20. If you look at your stat block for your beast, it'll tell you what its like attack modifiers and things like that are. So, for example,
Yeah.
this is not a regular attack. This is an attack of opportunity, which means you don't use your entire multi-attack, unfortunately. Although at this point, because you cast it at its base level, it would only have one attack anyway. So you are, it is a maul attack, which for your little Kraken, we can say is just like bludgeoning with its Kraken flippers. So roll a D20 and add your spell attack modifier to hit. So just like if you were Thorn Whipping, like that that same addition.
Oh, that's wicked. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Poor dear. Your water beast misses its attack, unfortunately.
Rats.
Just checking on something. Okay. Out of curiosity, we'll roll our buddy.
E.
Lucky you. Behind the ship, off the view of this map, but if I'm doing my math correctly, 30 feet diagonal up to the left off the map, the creature reemerges. And is then, what that means is that now triggers a bunch of reactions. So, I'm going to need y'all to handle your attack rolls, those of you who are making attack rolls.
Is it holding the
is
staff?
20. It is holding the staff.
Yeah, great.
And how far away was it?
30 feet from the back of the ship. So within range of your shatter spell, if you're popping up and ordering that. So I'll have it make a save in a little bit for your shadow spell.
Do I have advantage?
You do not have advantage. None of you do.
Oh, come on!
Steady aim. Oh.
Oh,
Yes, you can.
You
So
get it in?
buckle, that is a... Okay. Once everyone's sort of done their rolls, I'll tell you who hits, who misses, who tells the story.
Yeah.
Okay, so can I use steady aim to get advantage?
Yes, you can, because you are still. Caliban, technically, you can do the same.
Oh.
You're in the crow's nest. So who's that? Avery is, you're going to take 11 plus 7, which is 18. That will be a hit.
Great.
So Avery hits, Caliban hits, and also could possibly...
yes!
That is a natural 20.
Was that our first of
Okay,
the night?
Caliban, you're going to roll so many dice. Just so many dice. Okay.
Was that our
okay,
first
so that's a
nat
hit.
20 of the stream?
It's
I
our
think
first,
so.
on attack roll.
Mhm.
Yeah, so those at home, take a shot. That's
It's your first nat 20. The skeleton boy had the first nat 20 of the
Yeah.
Oh, that's
doesn't
just
count.
take a shot.
old mate, lest we forget. Okay, so Caliban has a wild crit. Avery has a hit. Buckle will miss. And Rav had a spell to cast as a ready to action. Barwin is driving. So it's time for y'all to start rolling some damage.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, I think I just like twitched along with the map. Okay, 29 points.
Yeah,
of,
it was terrible actually.
it's not a great roll.
Twos and
I-
ones.
I think we need to recount that.
I'm sorry.
I'm not
Thanks
sure.
to Matt Day for the amazing maths happening real fast in the background. So that's 29 from Caliban. That's 21 from Avery. I read that correctly? Okay. And then Buckle was a miss. So Rav, it's time for a saving throw for Shatter. What kind of save? And the number is 15.
Con 15.
Constitution.
Mhm.
Okay. I'll roll it here so you see.
No.
That is a success. You can still roll your damage for 4th level Shatter,
Yeah.
which has increased damage dice, and then the creature will take half damage.
So I want to make sure I'm doing my math right. I was supposed to get 3 d8s, but because it's 4th level, I get 5.
Is it, do you add a d8 per level cast above second? Then yes, that would be 5 d8s.
When using this spot 3rd or higher, the damage increases 1 d8 for each slot above 2nd. So that's
You
2.
got it. Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
So that's 5 d8s of thunder damage.
Wow. Hey.
Oh.
Ooh.
That's a very good roll. Okay.
Yeah, but you're only taking half.
Right. Okay, so half of 27 is 13.
Ooh.
I'll round it up.
Caliban's that much. Okay, so much damage.
How do you all want to do this? It's my shot. No, I did it. No, I couldn't.
Okay, in a symphony of twanging bowstrings and crossbow bolts firing away. Oh, I forgot. Yori gets to attack as well.
Hi.
Oh my god,
Didn't
Yori would
make
be
Yori's roll.
so mad right now.
Oh my god. Oh my god, wouldn't she just?
I hope Louise is watching something.
I hope so too. Give me a quick tick to make sure I am doing justice to her roll. I am. Crossbow time for Yori.
Oh.
Ah, alas. That is and you only get one shot because it is a reaction, so no multi bits. Okay, so that's a miss. Bolts firing, arrows whizzing through the air. They hit with a variety of places on this creature, and then Ravelor snaps his finger, and then this boom of the magical thunder ripples, and for a moment, the water that is sustaining this creature up above the river splashes outward from the impact of the thunder, and so there's just this like geyser of exploding water from the impact of the thunder. And you can see the green light from the staff is then obscured by all the water for a moment before it falls. The creature is just still hanging on, suddenly taken aback by all of this affront. It is its turn. With a cry of rage, it is going to fire 2 bolts of shadow from its outstretched hand at your receding ship. There is Barwin and Avery are there closest. It is going to target Barwin. And then,
Who's hiding
marked you
behind
early
you
from
now?
that turning his boys. Okay, let me just make sure I've got this right. You're going to get 2 of these shot at you in rapid succession. I'll just go ahead and roll 2 and then add the modifier to the higher. No, that's not what I'll do. I'll roll 2 and add the modifier to both, and we'll see if either of them hit. Okay, that's a 16 for one and a 20 for one. So one of those is going to hit Barwin, yeah?
Okay.
The math's right. Okay. It is going to do 2d8 of necrotic damage. So Barwin, take 10 points of necrotic damage as you feel again that like life force seeping from you, the cold weight of sorrow and despair. And then it is going to inflict 2d8 of cold damage.
And I'll take resistance from that.
Yep, you'll use your reaction to do that. So then you take 5 damage instead of 11 for cold. It is then, having fired these 2 bolts at your receding ship, staring at you the entire time, Barwin, it's going to slowly sink back.
Yeah. That's yucky.
The water grows still. And then totally calm. Your ship is still moving.
Does my little dude get another opportunity attack?
It is now Barwin's turn in the initiative order. So what happens next might affect all of that. So Barwin, it's your turn. You can take an action, or you can continue to drive the ship.
Just checking. Barwin had said that she moved back to the wheel, didn't she?
She did, yeah. She was still in range of this attack.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I haven't moved her token on the map, but I should.
You saying that what I say could change, or that makes me feel like I'm missing something.
Sorry.
Pardon?
I missed what you said.
Oh,
Sorry.
I just said you saying that what I do could change everything makes me feel like I'm missing something. But I think Barwin's gonna I think she's gonna let the wheel go and ready what's it called again? Guiding bolt at the 3rd level.
Okay. So then if the creature again appears, I assume, within your range, you will cast Guiding Bolt at 3rd level. If it doesn't, the magic will be spent. And that's in the next round. Barwin's doing that. Podrick, it is now your turn in the initiative. When you finish, you can order your water beast to do something if you like.
I was just asking that, like, when it goes back down into the water, is that does it not get an opportunity attack because it went past the fish?
So what happened is, to get to where it got, it had to pass your water beast.
Sure, okay.
And so your water beast is still back there somewhere. Remember, your ship's gone like 60 feet forward, and so your water beast used all of its movement trying to find the creature, and then the creature came barreling past it on the way to catch up to you. So it took a swing, but missed.
Okay, cool. I'm in concentration, so I can't use spells, can I?
Oh, you can use spells, just not other concentration spells.
Oh, okay. All right. They might be all. All right. Well then, can I ready a 3rd level tidal wave?
You can do that. Yep. Yeah. Again, you can. I'm assuming. What's the trigger for the tidal wave?
When
you see it within range.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Just checking, because people get creative with these. What triggers the spells? So, like Buckle's thing about seeing the staff. If you had a specific thing like that, I always like to ask.
Yeah, nice.
Okay. So, you ready that spell? If the trigger does not occur within the next round, you'll just burn the spell slot. Okay. So. That is the end of Podrick's turn. It is now then the ship just doing what it does since it's not being driven. I'll roll that d4.
Can I tell the Kraken to find that thing?
Yeah, you certainly can. What would you like to tell the water beast to do?
Find it and attack.
Okay. You can do that. Your water beast is on the move. It's doing its thing. Okay. And your water beast speed is 30 underwater. Yep. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. Just double checking. That is, so the ship is going to continue a generally forward direction in its drift. It happens to keep with the wind and the way the rudder is positioned. It does not drift further downward on the map. That's what the D4 is for. And we are back up to the top of the order. There's Avery, Rav, Yori, Buckle, and Caliban. If you'd like to, you can all hold the same sort of actions you were doing before, or if you have, any of you have more specific things you would like to do instead.
No, I'm going to hold it. I'm ready at action.
Yeah, okay. And Rav, it's up to you if you want to ready another spell, or if you're just doing something else, it's up to you.
Yeah, so in theory, Shatter is still there because it's an orb or whatever, but...
So Cloud of Daggers is a spell that does that. Shatter is over instantaneously once it's done. So Shatter doesn't remain in place.
Oh, I see. It's just a 10-foot sphere.
Correct.
Because there's like a sphere thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I guess it's worth a shot. I guess I'll ready Suggestion.
That's a choice.
I don't know if it's gonna work, but I'm gonna try.
Yeah, no, you never know. You never know. That's been a game-changing spell several times. Okay, you're ready to cast Suggestion. You'll burn that spell slot if the creature doesn't appear within range of the spell.
Yeah, I'm casting it at second, by the way.
Just Stitch slowly raising his eyes, eye level above the camera.
There he is. Look at him. You're familiar. Okay.
That's Elder.
Yeah. Who has remained discreetly below decks. Then you each hold your respective actions or spells. It is now the creature's turn. Silence. The river is dark. You do not see the green light coming from underneath of the staff. You don't hear water moving anymore. You look to the spot and the area where it went. Podrick, you're looking to see if you can find where your water beast must have gone, not being entirely sure of where that could possibly be. But knowing the general area, it is quiet. The creature does not seem to emerge from the water.
Stupid spell slot.
Fellows, I'm going to bed.
Are we out of initiative?
You are now out of initiative.
Oh,
I too shall return to my chambers.
Yes, I too should rest.
Rav looks around at them all. Thou canst all sleep at a time like this.
It is all we can do to prepare for when we are inevitably struck again.
If thou canst not sleep, Ravelor, thou can keep me company if you wish.
Canst we not get out of here? Canst we not make our boat do the thing where it jumps away?
Methinks we should have done that during the
It's
battle.
still under the effect of our last chaos magic.
Yes.
Indeed,
That's
and
true.
does that not mean that under attack the boat does blink away?
But to make us blink, we must damage the thing that we hold sacred, the thing that does keep us safe.
And
Yeah.
might I remind you that we tried doing this last time and the boat just took it out on us.
Oh, aye,
Did not
that is
blink.
true.
I remember that not, but mayhaps 'tis a symptom of mine actions.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Adam.
I am looking at the wording of this particular feature. I think something I did not consider upon bringing up that wording is that it means you actually can engage it only in a very particular circumstances or kinds of attacks. So moving forward, I think we'll call that a my bad wording. If in future you're in an encounter in which you, the creatures on the ship, are under attack, I think it makes more sense if you're able to use that feature as opposed to just when the ship itself is under attack. One of the reasons I think I failed to notice this and bring it is that there are a number of area of effect spells that don't actually affect objects, and I checked that. I only found that out just sort of before this session. So normally the effect that this creature did to your ship probably would have triggered something like that because it would have damaged it, but it actually doesn't damage objects, which means your ship is safer. But you know.
Well, that's
in
good to
future,
know.
I think that will be a more satisfying use of that bit of the ship's chaos magic. But well done.
Excuse
you have
me.
survived. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the Lewen line running by again.
Well, that's, I mean, that's bittersweet because, we didn't kill it, but we still got to level up. That's pretty.
Buckle gave it some pretty serious RSI.
Yeah.
Wait, does this mean Buckle's normal size now?
So who cast Enlarge Reduce? That was Brad. Right. So then when the spell's duration runs out, I think it's a minute, something like that, Buckle will reduce back to normal side.
Ah, Buckle. I am oft also enlarged for only a moment's time, but thou art returned to normal.
Worry not, good friend. You shall rest easily, knowing that we have a Kraken on our side for the next hour. That Kraken will protect us.
Wait, couldst thou not have the Kraken hit the boat, and then surely we could blink away?
We only
Kraken, use Thorn Whip.
Barwin, it's classic. Barwin couldn't even get the sentence out.
Oh, God.
Podrick, do what thou wilt, but it did not seem that we moved much further than 10 feet at a jump last time.
Nay, I did tell it to. However, it knows not Thorn Whip, so.
So you
the
are.
best is just to keep our track forward, for there is no other way that I can see.
Okay. As you continue driving the ship forward, I think that is probably a good place for us to wrap our session to a close tonight. Y'all, warriors, you didn't even get a break. Those of you watching, well done. Normally we take a break halfway through, but sometimes we roll initiative in the first bit like that.
Oh yeah, we didn't take a break, did we?
Yeah, no, I probably should have, but you're stalwarts. We're pushing straight through. Well done. I even thought we were going to end early there for a second, so we just pushed through, but no. That was a difficult encounter. You survived it. Those creatures had some nasty features.
I almost lost some hit points. Temporary ones.
Rav and Buckle.
Yeah.
I was
have
worried.
12. I have 12 hit points.
Buckle got down to 25 and I panicked because he's never been that low before.
Okay, what is your world like? Because I get hit hard and I die.
What's your hit points, Ravelor?
I have a max of 45.
Oh, that's the same as me.
What's
But
your DC?
I
AC.
went into it with not all of them, thanks to Yori.
He took a punch to the face last week. That's right.
I wonder if you could take some ownership of that.
Yeah.
Though.
What? Never, for I am the victim.
I do blame Yori.
Thank you, Padre.
On that note of blame assignation, before we disapparate, I'd like to take a moment to give a few people some thanks. First, to as mentioned before, to Matt Day, the designer of Rollcast. Does somebody have their speaker on loud? I can suddenly hear a repeat of it. I don't know why. In any case, to Matt Day, the designer of Rollcast, who designed the slick platform that is browser-based and lets us use a bunch of D&D special design features. He's adding new stuff every week. It's really exciting. Thank you to the creator of Tabletop Audio for providing music for streamers to use for their online streams. It's wonderful, as well as the soundpad feature. Thank you to all the wonderful artists out there who are designing maps and tokens for virtual tabletop gamers. I rely so much on all of you. A special shout out this week to Kobold Press's Creature Codex, from which our monsters for this week came from, and to Brian Symes' fabulous artwork that I used to make these tokens. Highly recommend all of their stuff, especially the Creature Codex. Thank you to all of you, our players, for your commitment, powering through our usual break time, and for your play. Thank you to our gentle audience who have stuck it out with us, and those of you who are watching on the YouTube channel later for sharing your Sunday or any day you choose to spend with us. Finally, we rely so much on your gentle word of mouth, so please subscribe, follow, and share with all of your friends to show your approbation, if indeed you would like to roll like us with Bardic Inspiration. that's us out until next week when the Magical Cane Band returns. And you can see the Headless Marys the week after that. We're alternating every Sunday. See you at 7:30 Melbourne time. Thank you all very much, and have a great rest of your night.
Exeunt.
Exeunt, pursued by Totem Bear.